And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for being here tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. Damar Hamlin returned to the field during the most recent game between the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals, but there was a lot of things going on. Very confusing. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, shout out to Gianno Caldwell of Fox News, who was discriminated against out there in Miami because of his political affiliation by one of the store owners. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, there is a new board to the dietary guidelines for Americans, which is brought to you by the HHS and the USDA. This person says that obesity is caused by your genetics, not by diet exercise. So why don't I see these genetics flaring up in third world countries, Africa, China, places like that? I mean, what's going on? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the whole Crowder drama, if we must discuss it, I'll talk about it, but I think that's pretty much coming to an end. Everybody's pretty much set their piece on it, but I'll talk about it a little bit if you guys want to. Also, Aaron Rodgers says that he's been villainized because of his stance on the vax. We all know that. He won the MVP, and they were hating big time. Also, we got to talk about Ed Reed and Bethune Cookman on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you enjoyed what you're hearing thus far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Also, this is a podcast you're listening to live. If you're watching me on the YouTubes, thank you for being here. If you're listening to it on the re-recording or on the playback, pardon me, on YouTube, thank you as well. You can also hear this podcast on your favorite audio streaming platform, audio only, whether that be Spotify, Google Play, Apple iTunes, Stitcher, Anchor, etc. Link for that will be in the description box, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Also, what else we got going on? So audio streaming platforms, podcasts, and we got sponsors, of course. Shout out to my particular websites you got to go to, AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. You go to the front page, you'll be able to see all the articles that pertain to videos on the YouTube page. So if I can't put a certain thing on the YouTube because they don't want me to have it, they're talking about, oh, that's against guidelines, you're going to get a strike, we're going to punish you. I could do whatever I want on my website because that's my website. I run it. I pay for it independently of YouTube. They can't stop that. They can't tell me, hey, man, that shirt you got, take it off of your store. But different story. I digress. Go to AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Link for the website will be in the description box. Also, go to the contact page. You can find my email address, my snail mail address, my P.O. box, of course. Also, my social media platforms, my Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. And please, oh, please, oh, please, if you're going to follow me one extra place aside from right here on the YouTubes or the audio streaming platforms, please follow me on the Instagram. The goal is to get to 100,000 followers on IG. I believe I'll be able to do it. I'll post more of the reels because I know that's kind of where we headed. That's where we headed. Everything's TikTok-ized. Everybody want to get the little 15-second dopamine hit, you know. It's like, it reminds me of the 90s and the 80s when crack came out, but I don't want to go down that road. Anyway, follow me on the IG. Let's get it to 100,000. I have a Facebook presence, but Facebook is a tough egg to crack. And it's weird because Facebook is also Instagram. They're owned by Meta. It's just kind of a weird situation, but whatever. Follow me. If you're not following me there already, I appreciate you for doing so. I'm going to do more Instagram lives as I promised y'all. I've done a couple in the past couple of weeks. I'm going to do another one coming up here pretty soon. And the IG live is a little bit different than this because when I'm on the YouTube live, I got a whole big setup, right? I got dual monitors and a DSLR camera, mixer, microphone, keyboard, lights, and it's a big production, just me running it But with the IG, everything is condensed down to this. Well, really, for real, this. Okay, like, to be totally honest with you, okay, I have two phones here, right? Now, this phone is my iPhone, and it does better for video. And really, the part of the reason why I got it is for communication purposes. People I know, it's like they want to see the blue text bubble, all that kind of stuff, FaceTime, all that weird stuff. So that's the reason why I got it. But then when I use it for video, it does much better. This one is really my work business phone, tax phone. Okay, I'm writing that off on my taxes. Yes, I am. But this one is better for working on it. You know, making thumbnails, all that kind of stuff on the fly. I can do that on this one. But anyway, Instagram is really boiled down to this. It's a lot more personal. So y'all check me out there on the IG, Instagram.com/Anthony B. Logan, Twitter.com/Anthony B. Logan, Facebook.com. I think I'm 1776 Logan. Whatever it is, it will be on the contact page of my website, AnthonyBLogan.com. Also, go to the merch website, ABLmerch.com. That is ABLmerch.com. We got hats, we got t-shirts, we got stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website. Also, go to patriotpost.us. Okay, the Spotify podcast 2022, not 2023. Thank you, Missy. I'm going to change that. I will most certainly change that for sure. Thank you. But, and this phone right here, my work phone is a Samsung. So it said I'm an Apple simp. No, I have a Android and an Apple. I don't really care. And before, like back in the day, I had an Apple for my graphic design when I was a graphic designer, web designer. I had an Apple computer for like 10 years. Well, I had a MacBook Pro and I had an iMac for a long time. That was my combination. And after a while, I realized it's like, hey, wait a minute, man. You started your journey doing this whole business thing, online money making. You started your whole journey with a PC you built. I built my PC in 2004, 2005. It was a delivery guy coming to my crib. And he was asking me like, hey man, you built a new computer? I was like, yeah. I kept getting little parts. But anyway, I built computers, sold computers, fixed them. So I finally built my own PC rig again, probably a few years ago, back in 2016. And I probably built about 4 or 5 since then. So yeah, I'm PC all the way. I would never go back to Apple products for my computing purposes. The only reason I have an Apple product is because of the communication, number one, with other people who have Apple products as well. They want to see the blue bubble. Like, that's really important for some people, especially like tip for the young men out there. If you're going to be dating and you don't have an iPhone, the girls are going to be scared. They could be like, man, is he trying to kidnap me or what? What's going on? But anyway, that's the reason why I got it. It's for communication, friends and family. But I digress. Let me get back to what I was doing. I'm getting way off track, getting into some Uncle ABL stuff right there. But yeah, go to the website. Everything's right there. Patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information. And all my links, everything will be, of course, in the description box below. And if you listening to me on the audio streaming platform, there should be some kind of box somewhere where all these links are. Very simple. Okay. We got a lot going on. Hey, I'm telling you, the girls are scared. Oh, he's going to kidnap me. He has it's green text like that right there. For real. You don't want to do that. You want to be able to FaceTime and blue bubbles and the green. It's so weird. You know, I feel like I'm just like a caveman sometimes because I still had a BlackBerry. Had a BlackBerry up until like 2018, 2019 with the full physical keyboard and all that. In 2019, I had one of those. I did not have a full touchscreen phone until I think 2019. So I'm not really the kind of guy that's going to be jumping on the bandwagon. Obviously, y'all know who I am. Y'all know my stance on certain issues, like the whole Crowder thing. I don't even really care. I just say whatever comes to my mind. It don't even really matter. Rebel without a reason. I'm serious. Like, that's what I said. Like, what? LOL? Question mark. That's what I said too. But that's just the reality. Backup says, feel safe with them blue bubbles. Yes. 100%. 100%. Yes, absolutely. Les says, girls just want to see if you're texting with those texting dots. Correct. That's part of it as well. Ivana says, you want a Nokia phone? If I can get a Nokia phone, like right now, and it still worked the way I needed it to work. Because now, if I don't have the smartphone, I'm kind of behind. I'm not able to work appropriately. It's just not really, it's just not really something that's feasible. Okay, here's a good question. I'm going to get to the topics in just one moment. I'm reading some of the super chats a little bit early because I'm seeing some good questions. Michael Critchlow says, I've been meaning to ask this for a while. Is that a Captain America shield on the floor behind you in all your videos? Yes, it is a Captain America shield. Shout out to my man on Instagram, Shield Labs. He gave me a shield. Like, he makes these shields for people that do cosplay. He makes the shields for like big motion picture productions. I'll get it. I'm gonna show it to you right quick. Hold on 1 second. Hold that thought right there. Don't go nowhere. Stay right there. So yeah, it's a real. Yeah, now I'm a big guy. I'm 6'2", 6'3", so you can see how big this is compared to me. Right? And you have leather straps on the back, so you can really, you can really hold it. It's a real shield. So shout out to my man Shield Labs for the Captain America shield. Yes. And I requested to get this shape. He has all the shapes. He has the circular ones, the ones that are more like a triangle type shape. Yeah, he has all of those. You can see that it's pretty well done. Nice thickness, nice durability. So yeah, that's a real shield. And I'll probably get some more. And we need to do some work, Shield Labs. If you're listening, we need to do some work for real. I'm not going to be slacking off too much with people that want to sponsor me and whatnot this year. So that's just kind of what that is. Yep. My shirt collection, I got a crazy closet. You would think that I wear like one shirt every day. Like, I got the polo. It kind of became my style, so I just kind of ran with it. But I got a whole closet full of polo shirts. I probably got about 25 polo shirts. It's nuts. I've given quite a few shirts away over the years. Okay. False H, you're 6'9". Hey, man, I don't want no problems. You 6'9", I'm going to just stay over there, man. Unless you go about your day, man. If you just walk in my path, I'm going to get out the way. I'm going to go across the street, man. I don't want no smoke with the big 6'9" guy. All right. All right. Davey Clark said, shout out to you being that big and a reader, non-sport guy. Yeah, I mean, I'm a nerd, like 100%. That's me. Now, I take pride in that. I've been a nerd my whole life. I was the hood nerd all day long. And I think that needs to be something that we focus on more. People being cool to be nerdy, being cool to know how to read. It's cool to know how to read. That's a very good thing. All right. Hey, I love to go on Timcast. That'd be great. I go anywhere. I would go on Crowder Show. I would go anywhere if they invited me. But I'm kind of like in my own little space. Like, people that go on those shows a lot, they kind of know each other, and it's like a fraternal type thing, and that's good. I guess that's the way it should be to a certain extent. Do I know of Gothics? Yes, I know of Gothics. I met Gothics, actually. I met Gothics in Dallas at the Uncle Tom 2 premiere. And shout out to Uncle Tom Part 2. You guys can now stream that on Apple iTunes. Let me see if I got the information here. I'm going to put it up on the screen, actually. I think I'm going to put up a couple different pictures. First is going to be the Uncle Tom 2 being available on your streaming platforms. And also, there's a picture of me and Gothics in Dallas. If I can find that, I'll link to it in... Well, I'll put it on the screen if I can find it. All right, because I'm looking right now at some of these pictures, and I know that it's in here somewhere for sure. And if you like what you're hearing so far, y'all please give me the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. I don't know if I can find that one. Yeah, I might not be able to find that particular video, that picture. But I'll find it eventually. Let me put up the Uncle Tom Part 2. So it is available on Apple iTunes, Amazon, YouTube, and Google Play. So you can stream it right there. I'm sure you got to pay. But yeah, y'all please support Uncle Tom Part 2. I'm not in this one, actually. I filmed for it, but I'm not in this one. We've done some other stuff that'll come out pretty soon, and you guys keep an eye out for that. And I think that I may be in the third one. And do Uncle Tom Part 3, I'll be in that one because they already done filmed for it. and they may film some more. So I will be on a silver screen sooner than later. Okay. I was at the premiere and I was up front with everybody else. So it was like I was in it, even though I wasn't technically in it. All right. So yeah. Shout out to everybody that was involved with Uncle Tom Part 2. Shout out to everybody that was at the premiere. It was a wonderful time. It really was. Oh, I found it. So here we go. Here is me and Gothics. This is in Dallas. This is at the after party after we had the premiere. We went to this pizza spot. I forget exactly what it was called. We went to a pizza spot and everybody was there. A lot of fans and whatnot were there. It was a really good time. So shout out to her. Shout out to, I think that's her husband that she's with. And shout out to my man Cedric that was there, the magician. They all came together. That was a fantastic time. Definitely a night to remember. All right. I'm on Rumble. No, I'm not. I don't really see the purpose, be totally honest with you, because people talk about alternative media. And I'm going to just say this, and I don't mean to attack anybody. I just want to kind of, express myself on this one. People talk about alternative media, but do they really support it? Like, for a long time, everybody said, hey, ABL, get on BitChute. I'm on BitChute. Every video that I upload to YouTube is on BitChute. But now everybody's saying go to Rumble. So it's like, all right, well, what you want me to do? You want me to go to BitChute? You want me to go to Rumble? Or do I just put my videos on the biggest platforms and get the reach that way? Or how about I put the videos on the biggest platform but have my own website? So regardless of what, I still have my own thing that I can at least have some people go to and read my articles and look at my videos wherever they're going to be. So I don't see the purpose of going to another alternative media platform that ain't nobody going to watch, just like BitChute. I mean, I get some viewership on BitChute, but again, everybody said, go over there. Now they're saying go over here. So I could put stuff on Rumble, but you know what? I might do that to see what happens, to see if there's like a positive reaction as a result of it. Okay. And thank y'all for the compliments on the suit. I appreciate it. The name of the film is called Uncle Tom Part 2. Okay. That's it right there. So you guys can stream that Apple iTunes, Amazon Prime, I suppose, YouTube, and Google Play. Y'all, please do that. If you've not seen the movie, it is an amazing movie. They get really deep. It's about just black folks being conservative and our history in the country and some figures that you thought you liked that you might not like so much. Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a communist, and people praise him as something else. I'm not saying he was a bad person. Please don't get misunderstood, but we got to look at people for who they really were and not just who we think they were. You see what I mean? So that's pretty much what that is. All right. I've heard Samuel L. Jackson before. Okay. I was in the airport and the guy was like, hey man, loved you in Pulp Fiction. I was like, ha. Thank you very much. But anyway, we got a whole lot of topics on deck tonight. Where do I begin? Can I start with Damar Hamlin, please? Because the whole Damar Hamlin thing is ridiculous. It is. Yeah. BitChute is still there. The video still got loaded to BitChute. Some people still watch them over there, but it's nowhere near the views that YouTube get, and YouTube views are going down as well. My videos at this point are viewed more on Instagram than anywhere else. More than the website, of course, more than YouTube, more than BitChute, more than Facebook. Instagram right now is my hottest platform, but unfortunately, you're not monetized on Instagram, so it is what it is. All right. So yeah, maybe if I can automate it to where I can upload videos straight to Rumble from YouTube, I do it. If it's just that simple, yeah, and then I'll see what the results are. So yeah, y'all please remind me next time if I'm not on Rumble to do it. And when I do get on Rumble, I'm gonna put the link in every video, and I'm gonna put it on the community tab so you guys know I'm there. And if I'm not by next stream, y'all please remind me, say, hey man, what's up with Rumble? Get on Rumble, stop procrastinating, stop being lazy. Y'all tell me that next time if I'm not on there. But I digress. Let's get to your man Damar Hamlin. Now, we all know the story behind Damar Hamlin, right? Damar Hamlin, he was hit on the field. He gets up and falls on the ground, passes out. He basically dies on the field. He had to get revived. CPR for like 9 minutes. They brought a defibrillator out there. It was a whole big mess. I think his uncle came out and said, like right there when it happened or soon thereafter, that he had died on the field, had to get brought back. Then he died again on the way to the hospital or at the hospital and had to get brought back again. So he's recovering in the hospital in Cincinnati at UC in the hospital. They got him on, they intubated him. He's in the coma or whatever. He wakes up, take a tube out, but he's still on oxygen and he's still recovering. They release him from the hospital in Cincinnati at UC, and then he goes to a hospital in Buffalo, I suppose, to continue his recovery. And the team says he's still on oxygen. He has a long way to go to complete his recovery. Now, fast forward a little bit. The incident happened on January 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. Monday Night Football versus Cincinnati Bengals, okay? January 2nd, pardon me. January 2nd. He comes back, I think, Sunday or Monday of this week to Buffalo Bills Stadium where they're playing the Bengals again, this time in the playoffs. Unfortunately, the Bills lost. The Bengals won. Okay, shout out to the Who Dey Nation, all the Cincinnati people out there, all my Dub V people out there that live right by Cincinnati, Kentucky, everybody else. Shout out to y'all. But the Bills lose, the Bengals win at Bills Stadium, and Damar Hamlin is out there waving at the fans, hyping them up, but you don't see his face. And the way he was moving around, the way he was just walking was odd. Now I've seen all type of people. I've seen all kind of theories. It's a clone. That's kind of ridiculous. Like a clone would be if he looked like Damar Hamlin, but it was not Damar Hamlin. I don't know who that person looked like. I'm not saying it wasn't Damar Hamlin, but I can't tell if it looked like Damar Hamlin or Freddie Jackson in the face or, Kanye West. I don't know who that was. It could have been Alicia Keys up under that sweatsuit. It could have been Kanye West. It could have been one of my relatives. It could have been my cousin from down the way. I don't know who that was up under there. They say it was Damar Hamlin. Okay. But I can't tell by looking at that person who it was because their face was heavily obfuscated. And this person had on clothing that covered up all parts of their skin. So you can't see identifying marks, tattoos, piercings, hair. He has big, long dreadlocks. You couldn't see the dreadlocks. You couldn't see the tattoos. You couldn't see his face. He had on glasses, a mask, a hoodie. And it's just like, why do all that? If that's him, why do all that? Did he get burned? Is he disfigured now? I saw a picture of him in the hospital. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find a picture in the hospital first. I'm going to show the video in a moment. Y'all please hang tight. But there was a picture in the hospital, and you still couldn't really see his face like that. But the picture looks better. It looked, you could see him more clearly, okay? So here's a hospital picture, right? This was before he went to the Bills Stadium and was walking around, hyping the crowd up or whatever. You could see him more right here than you could in the other thing. And by the way, he's doing the heart emoji right here with his hands. People were saying in the video that he was doing the Illuminati pyramid and then the sixes. As you can see, his number is number 3. They have a number 3 t-shirts, and he's doing the heart emoji. See, number 3 right there is on his hat. That's his football number on the field. So that might have been what the person was doing in the press box. Now, let me get back to the video so you can see what I'm talking about. I know I've been talking about it a little bit, and I've not shown it yet. But let's go ahead and watch this. And then you're going to see what I'm talking about if you've not seen it already. Let's roll it.
Looks like Damar Hamlin is in the...
So let's back up a little bit. Okay, so you see him right there in the center of this vehicle wearing a big bubble coat on top of a hoodie. He has a hoodie on. He has a big mask covering his whole bottom half of his face. His nose, mouth, lips, everything is covered. And he has on glasses like shades. Not my kind of glasses that you can see through, but glasses that are obfuscating his eyes. Sunglasses inside at night when it's snowing.
Looks like Damar.
Why?
Damar Hamlin is in the building. Yes, if they show him in the stadium in any capacity.
So this vehicle pulls right up to, I'm not sure what this is. It says restricted area right here, restricted access. You see that right there. Maybe that goes to the press box. I'm not really sure. But you're going from the tunnel to this area right here. And there's security out there making sure he makes a beeline for that area.
Will blow the doors off of this place. Damar Hamlin just
and he's not showing his face, doesn't wave at all.
showed up, and it looks like his mom and his little brother is there. Oh,
so got his little brother out there, got his mom.
We love to see it. Stay tuned. It's the Bengals.
His mom looks real young, by the way.
Bills coming up on CBS. Good job.
So then here's another clip of him coming out of that same area. And you have security who are facing toward him. Now, if the whole purpose is to make sure that don't nobody run up on him, you would face the other direction, right? Because you gotta see any kind of threats coming your way, and you gotta be able to react quickly. So this guy right here may be able to face outward and see any incoming threats, but the guys that are further like toward any kind of potential threat need to be turned around so they can see. So why are they turned toward where Damar Hamlin would be? Is this security, or is it a way to keep him shielded from the camera? So that was him right there that just walked out in the red, of course. Head down, hoodie on. You can't really see any identifying marks. Face totally covered. Now, again, I'm not saying it's not him. I'm not saying it's a body double or a clone. I just have questions like, why do all that? What's the purpose in obfuscating this? Why do things like this? I don't really understand.
Damar Hamlin returned to the facility this week. Sean McDermott telling us it was so good to have him around. He told us.
So this shadow we figure right here in the press box is Damar Hamlin. Now remember, this game is at night, if I'm not mistaken. It's at night. It's snowing. Okay. So if it's at night and it's snowing, why do you have on glasses that cover your face inside? What are you trying to block the sun? What are we doing?
It's baby steps right now. It's all completely up to Hamlin.
Why can't we see him right here?
Involved he wants to be every day. A spokesman.
You see the light behind him and the shadowy figure. It's like Bigfoot. Somebody said in the comments, they said that they were treating him like a Bigfoot sighting. I lost it. That was hilarious. But seriously, though, this is like what you would see when Bigfoot comes around and they're trying to piece it together like, oh, man, is that a Bigfoot? Really? That's what's happening here.
Person close to the family said despite being out of the hospital, he still has a lengthy recovery. He requires oxygen and he has his heart rate monitored regularly, but he is upbeat. He's positive.
Someone says he responded on Twitter. I'm gonna look that up after we get done with this video. I'm gonna look that up and see what he said. Now, I saw he posted a picture talking about clone, and there was a picture of him right next to a mural of him doing a heart emoji. But it didn't really fix anything because he had on the same outfit and he was still covering his face. So I don't really understand.
And I was told he has a big smile on his face.
Damar stood up, right?
So now they have a camera inside of the booth. So the excuse was, oh, well, ABL, come on, man, it's dark, it's snowing, visibility's low, they can't really see him. But they have a camera inside. Why can't they show his face? Why must they show him from the side and he still has his face covered? For what reason?
Yeah, he did. This is it right here.
What a scene. Oh.
So that right there, what he was doing, that is supposed to be the heart emoji. And then the threes, because his number is number 3. And if you had CPR for 9 minutes, typically they say you're going to have fractured ribs because you got to understand, you got fully grown men going like this, compressing your chest. You have bones right here. And if you're compressing your chest for 9 minutes, trying to get your heart stopped, your heart is up under your rib cage. So at a certain point, you might fracture your ribs because of the CPR. So all this jazz right here, first of all, if you're on oxygen, they said he was on full-time oxygen. If you're on oxygen, that's going to wear you out ASAP. If you do that right there and you're not in shape, you're going to get worn out. But if you're on oxygen, you'll definitely be worn out first. Second, if you have your ribs broken, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt a lot doing all this because your ribs are not healed. All right. And also in the picture right here of him inside the booth, if you're on oxygen, you're going to have tubes coming to your nose. Now, you could have a tank that is very small. He could have a tank in his coat right here. You know, the old school tanks back in the day, your pawpaw, your meemaw might have had one of these big green tanks with a dolly you got to carry around everywhere. Quick story, then I'm going to get back to Damar Hamlin. I remember I was like, I don't know, I was a teenager, probably about 19, 20, something like that. And I'm riding around with some guy after work, you know, just little, work buddies. We riding around, and this guy had his grandpa's car, and I'm in the back seat, and they're in the front smoking, right? I'm not smoking. I'm just in the back chilling, hanging out. He was like, yeah, man, I got those tanks in the back right next to you, man. They're very flammable. It's like, meanwhile, that guy, they flicking ashes everywhere. It's like, oh, man, you about to die. But, yeah, those tanks were humongous. Those tanks were very big. But that's not the way things are anymore. You can have a tank that's like the size of a purse or a book or something like that. It doesn't have to be necessarily a really big device. But I don't see the tubes. Regardless of what you have, a small tank, big tank, the little, foot tall tank, you still got to have tubes coming to your nose. Now, you could take them out of your nose, but they're still going to be somewhere visible right next to his mouth. And I'm not seeing that. So that's what I'm saying. Now, so you're correct about that. Some don't need oxygen 24/7, but they said that he did. They said he was still on oxygen. So that would make me think that he still needed it, right? That kind of makes sense to me, but maybe I'm just incorrect. I don't know. Anyway, let me come back here. And I want to see if I can find Damar Hamlin's response on Twitter. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Shout out to my man, Modern Renaissance Man in the building. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you, boss. All right, let me see if I can find, let's see if Damar Hamlin responded. Okay, yeah, I don't really see a response. Not really. All that I see is what I said. Okay, I see two tweets. The one was what I already told you. Then there's another one. So this one right here says, quote unquote, clone. And then a ninja emoji. And you see, this is supposed to be him right here next to a mirror of himself doing the heart emoji, right? Number 3, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Now, he's still wearing the same outfit, doing the same face obfuscating. So you're not really, you know what I mean? You're not really fixing the problem. You're not, because the problem is, can nobody see your face? And then another one. Here's another one. He says, thankful for all the genuine love, thoughts, and prayers from across the world. Y'all will hear from me soon. Number 3, heart emoji. That's it. I don't see really a response like showing his face. All you got to do is just show your face, and then everything will be pretty much done. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think it's him? The whole clone argument, I don't know about that one. That might be a little kind of ridiculous, but is it him? If it is him, why is he covering his face? Because we got to be able to agree on one thing. Regardless of what you think, we got to be able to agree on one thing. He's covering his face for sure. Why? What's the purpose? People want to see you. They want to see you doing well. You got to show your face. You might not be able to speak very well, and that's okay. That's totally fine. But at least go like that. Oh, something else. Thank you, Gumball. Now, there was a death record that I saw floating around from Buffalo. Not Buffalo, pardon me. Well, yeah, Buffalo. Or somewhere in New York. I'm not exactly sure where the town was. But the death record had his town, his hometown, his name, and then also his parents' name. So a person died with his same name, Damar Hamlin, and the person that died had the same name as his parents. So what's up with that? I don't know. Is it a coincidence? Hey, I've seen stranger things in my life, but it just seems like it's too big of a coincidence. I'm just kind of confused as to what's happening. But again, all you got to do is just show your face. Now, some are saying that he's dead. That's something else. Some say it's a clone. Some say it's not him. It's a body double. Some say he's dead outright, and they're using somebody to go out there to masquerade as him because you're 24-year-old and healthy, and you die on the football field. That's not bad. That's not very good for business. Super Bowl coming up, playoffs coming up. That's bad for business. We can't have that. Now, how you going to get his mom and his little brother to play along? I'm not really sure. Okay, his little brother's out there, and his big brother didn't die right there on the football field. I think he would know that. Same thing with his mom. So I'm just overall confused as to what's happening and why it's happening. But I had to cover the story because it's a pretty big one. Did he put out a video? I've not seen the video from Damar Hamlin. Let me see if I can find that right quick. It's not on his personal Twitter page. Maybe he FaceTimed somebody. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can. Here's something from Ivory Hecker. Shout out to Ivory Hecker. This is a video that says, hold up, Buffalo Bills quarterback seems uncertain here on whether the man he saw Sunday was Damar Hamlin. Let's see if that's what he says. I've not seen this video yet at all, so we're going to watch it together for the first time.
So you don't think that you were duped by fake Damar in the locker room when you saw him? Let's just get that out there.
I don't think so. If it is, who knows? But that's my guy.
Are you suggesting there's maybe a chance it was? Well, okay. So
I don't think so. You don't sound very confident. You should just say no. That was Damar. I know my man, Damar Hamlin. That wasn't the fake. That wasn't the clone. You don't seem very confident in your response there, sir. I don't know if I really trust that too tough. Very interesting. Okay, very, very interesting. Let me see if I can find the video that somebody said. Okay. So here's a video of Damar Hamlin, supposedly. So I guess that's him trying to. Who is this? I don't know who that is. That can't be Damar Hamlin. That ain't the same Damar Hamlin I saw out there in the football field, because the Damar Hamlin I saw looked like he was fit and spry. This guy right here looked like he's struggling. This is how I would expect his gait to be while you just died on the football field and got brought back to life once or twice. I would expect this kind of walk, okay? Barely able to walk, struggling. I don't know who that is right there, okay? The caption says, all love from Mark with the emoji. Is that Damar Hamlin or is it somebody else? I don't know who that is. This person has on a Did We Win t-shirt with Damar Hamlin's heart emoji on it. But is that him or is that someone else that's trying to get somebody together? I don't know who that is, but it's not Damar Hamlin because, okay, this might just be a guy that's recovering from a hit and he has on a Damar Hamlin t-shirt. But I don't think that's him, because if that's him, then the guy that we saw on the football field couldn't have been him. Is that Andre Drummond? That's what it looks like, but does he have dreads? I don't think so. So that's Sacramento. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Let me see if I can find anything. Let's see the comments on this. Let me see. Yeah, somebody says it. Somebody says exactly what I said. He shared a video from a rehab clinic because someone was wearing his shirt. It's not Damar. Exactly. That's not him. So people said that he released a video. He did not release a video. And I don't really see. All right. So I don't know. But I'll move forward here. I shall move forward.
It ain't easy. It'd be hard.
All right. I shall move forward here. I don't see anything else. But I think that might have been the video the person was referring to, but that's clearly not him. That's somebody else that's just recovering in Sacramento wearing his t-shirt. That's not, I don't think that's Andre. I don't think Andre Drummond has dreads. And did Andre Drummond get hurt recently? Because the person right there, he does have dreads, but his dreads ain't that big though. Andre Drummond, Okay, I'm gonna show you guys Andre Drummond right quick. And is he on the Kings still or nah? He's on the Bulls now. He's not even on the Kings. He wouldn't be in Sacramento. He wouldn't be in California if you play for a team in Illinois. That is Andre Drummond. That person in the video was not Andre Drummond. Okay. And that's a picture of him recently because he's on the Bulls. He kind of been between the team. But that's definitely not no Andre Drummond. That was a random guy doing rehab work with a Damar Hamlin t-shirt on. But I will go ahead and digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. We got quite a bit going on here as far as news is concerned. And let's talk about obesity, shall we? Now, this one was a pretty controversial topic for some people because, okay, let's break it down and see what happened. You have the USDA and the HHS, right? They have this little group or some kind of organization or something within the government called the Dietary Guidelines for Americans. The job of this group is to give you recommendations on how to eat to live, basically. Shout out to Elijah Muhammad on that one. But anyway, they give you food recommendations, diet recommendations. Okay, if you eat X, Y, and Z in your diet, you will be healthier. That is their job. They appointed a brand new board recently, and one of the board members is a person by the name of, what's her name? Fatima Cody Stanford, okay? Now, her area of expertise is in obesity. And she got on 60 Minutes and said, well, you know, the chief reason people are obese is not because of diet, exercise. It's because of genetics. This is totally false. It's not right. It's false. Because at the end of the day, let me see if I can find the clip, a longer clip. All right, hold on. Now, what somebody told me in the comments is that they're trying to push something else, which makes a lot of sense. It's only in America where this happens. We're gonna look at a longer clip because I played a short version of it. Let me see if I can play more of this for 60 minutes. And fair use, by the way, fair use, 60 Minutes. Don't try to flag this channel. This is for educational purposes and for telling the news story and for a reaction video. So don't strike me. But let's watch some of this. I may stop it a little bit here and there because of copyright, weird stuff. But let's roll it.
So we can go on a diet, something like The Biggest Loser, right? You go and you restrict people, you make them work out for 10 hours a day, and then you feed them 500 calories. For most people, they will acutely lose weight. But 96% of those participants in The Biggest Loser regained their weight because their brain worked well. It was supposed to bring them back to store what they needed or what the brain thinks it needs.
So willpower?
Throw that out the window. My last patient that I
Let's pause right here. Now, y'all may or may not know me and my little story. I'm probably about 220 pounds right now. I'm probably about 215, 220 right now. You know, if I'm eating cookies and whatnot, I go to 225. But if I'm super, strict military guy, then I'm 215. Okay. And I'm pretty lean. You know what I mean? I don't have no belly or nothing like that. And I'm 6'3". So I look like I'm kind of skinny, I guess, to some people sometimes, but I'm actually pretty big. But anyway, I've been almost, I say 300 pounds. My biggest is probably about 285. Like right now, I look like basketball player size, but back then I was more like football player size. I was never like some kind of Paul Blart looking lard. You know, I look like I was pretty fit, but just big. Anyway, the key to losing weight and keeping it off is being disciplined, having the same diet and same routine consistently. People that lose a bunch of weight on The Biggest Loser go home and then regain their weight. Why? Because they're not on the program anymore. They're not doing the same. They're not getting up 4 o'clock in the morning, exercising, eating right. They're going right back to their hometown in Podunkville, USA, eating the same ridiculous meal 3 times a day, eating way too much, drinking soda, doing drugs, all kind of stuff. They go right back to their same lifestyle. You got to change your lifestyle and change your eating habits and be consistent in order to keep the weight off. If you don't, you're going to gain it back. Not because of any kind of genetics or any kind of brain function. Nah, it's about you not getting back into the disciplined way you were on the show. It's simple. This is not rocket science. It's not rocket science to understand. And to underline my point, you don't see problems with obesity in third world countries, do you? Show me the starving baby in Africa that's 500 pounds. Show like you might see them with a pot belly. It's because they got worms in the belly because they're eating garbage because they have no food. You're not going to see an obese
who struggles with severe obesity. She's been working out 5 to 6 times a week consistently. She's eating very little. Her brain is defending a certain set point.
A set point, says Dr. Stanford, is a range of weight.
Look at this. Carbs. Fat. I'm seeing alcohol, carbs, all kind of stuff on this table.
Your brain is in charge of maintaining by controlling how much food you eat and how much of it you store. One theory is that it's an evolutionary survival mechanism that helped retain fat during famines.
So we had COVID. Mm-hmm. Lots and lots of people gain weight. Do those people have a new set point that's higher now?
Absolutely. So when you have a chronic stressor and you get to a certain weight and maintain that weight for, let's say, at least 3 to 6 months, then you recalibrate that set point to a different.
This is pseudoscience at best. Pseudoscience at best. I rather would hear a guy on the corner just talk to me about how to become a millionaire than this nonsense right here. Now remember, this person is on the board of the Dietary Guidelines for Americans, a government agency who are responsible for telling you what to eat, how to eat. I would not be surprised if this drivel she's saying winds up in your kids' textbooks and they read this and think that it's the reality when it's not the reality. So when you got a fat family, when you got the mama, the daddy, and the kids who are all obese, all sick, get ready to keel over, the excuse will be, oh, it ain't because we drink Mountain Dew for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and we eat carbs all day, and we eat like we're, slobs and all this and that. We got crumbs in the bed and all kind of stuff. That ain't the reason. It's because it runs in our family. It's genetics. It's because of some pseudoscience. That's the reason why we're fat. People are, it's to the point where I think American people in charge, I'll say this, people in charge realize that Americans in the Western world are going to be heavy consumers of everything, of food, drink, of drugs, technology, whatever, heavy consumers and not really producers. So they're trying to make excuses as to why you have consumption-related illnesses or deficiencies, okay? Rather than just you consume too much, oh, it's because of something else. It's some junk science I just made up right now on the spot, like I'm improv acting.
Set point.
I've always heard that it's the fast food, that it's the Diet Cokes, that kind of thing, that is the instigator. Is that true?
So I think we have to look at the different causes of obesity as a big pie. And that's one factor. But notice how I'm using this part of the pie, right? But the number one cause of obesity is genetics. That means...
See, there we go. The number one cause of obesity is genetics. So let's talk about that, though. Let's talk about America. We all know that America is what they say, a nation of what? A nation of immigrants. We're all from somewhere else. So it's easy to just look at our cousins across the pond and see how they operate. We got the same genetics. My genetics and a West African genetics are about the same. It's not that much different, okay? I got some West African friends. They probably look like just like my brothers. If you saw me and my African homie right next to each other, same height, weight, body shape, skin tone, all of that. We have similar genetics, okay? Why is it that you go over there, they're not going to be obese like they are over here? It's because they don't have access to so much food. That's the bottom line. Now, how you present with a bunch of weight on you from eating food could be genetic, potentially, because West African, guys, we may look different physically from, let's say, somebody from the Philippines, okay, or somebody from Oaxaca, Mexico. All right, we just look physically different, but we can both be obese or overweight in our own ways, depending upon our genetics, but that'll only be determined by the food that we eat. and how much of it we eat. It's just that simple. And when we eat it, and also our level of activity.
If you are born to parents that have obesity, you have a 50 to 85% likelihood of having the disease yourself, even with optimal diet, exercise, sleep management, stress management. So when people see families that have obesity, the assumption is, what are they feeding those kids?
That's the correct assumption. That is the correct assumption, Miss Stanford.
Yeah.
They're doing something wrong. Actually, do you know this? 79 to 90% of physicians in the United States have significant bias towards individuals that are heavier. Now, doctors listening to me may say,
there we go. So that's that body positive movement. You got people that's like in the medical industry now pushing body positive movements. You know, I saw this parody account talking about obese is the new N-word. It was a parody account, but you had people that were really retweeting that and believing in it. Like saying the word obese is a problem, saying the word fat is a problem. But it's like, yo, we talking about actual medical terms and real descriptors. Okay, the word fat is not a slur. The word obese is a medical thing. It's just like saying somebody is thin. Thin, fat, it's the opposite. Okay, or skinny, that's also a descriptor. Tall, short, these are descriptors. Is it a slur if I call you short, or if you call me tall, or normal, regular size, average height? Everybody's so offended at everything. We got to have medical professionals come out here and defend their offense.
it's not me. Hold your horses, because has that patient come to you and told you, look, doc, I'm eating well. Look, doc, I'm exercising. And the doc says to them, are you sure? I don't believe that that's really what you're doing.
Shout to my main man. You know what? That might have been a little bit of a shot at my man for 600 Pound Life. Okay, what's my man's name? You know what I'm talking about. A doctor. I forget his name. The guy with the kind of European accent. You know, you're not eating right. You're not doing the diet. I told you, you got to do the diet. The way I tell you, you're not doing it. I can't even remember his name. Hold on. I got to find my man, and I got to get that impression down pat. 600 Pound Life doctor. Y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. I'm going to come right back to that and complete it and keep moving. Dr. Now, that's my man. Dr. Now. Yes, that was a shot at him, because Dr. Now, 600 Pound Life, you don't watch that show, basically, in a nutshell, what he'll do is, his job is to get these very, very obese people below their crazy weight. You're talking people coming there 600 pounds, 700 pounds. His job is to help them lose weight. And whenever they don't lose weight, they always do the same thing. They eat the same as they did before. It's always the same. So when they come in, because you know, not only do they report to him what they do, they have cameras in the house with them. It's a reality show. So you can't just say, oh, I'm eating right, when in reality, the camera saw you with a whole platter. Listen, that show was crazy. This lady had a whole platter. I'm talking about, like, you know how they come out in the restaurant and they serve drinks and the platter be like this on their hand, and they kind of balance it on their neck and their shoulder. This lady had a whole platter like that for one meal. I was like, this is crazy. Eating that right in the bed. That show was nuts. The people only lose weight. Pardon me. They only lose weight when their diet changes. Everybody on there, every single person that's really obese eats like a pig. And that's big facts. Hold on. Let me find my man right here so I can show you the impression.
Hello.
Hello, Dr. Now.
How y'all doing?
Surviving.
Surviving, huh? So is that why you missed your last appointment?
There it is. See, there you go. See, and the people all got all kind of excuses. Oh, I know, I've been stressed and all this and that. It's like, look, man, if you're trying to lose weight, you got to do this, this, and this, and this. And if you don't, you're not going to do it. And that will not give you weight loss. Because what they want is weight loss surgery, right? They want the weight loss surgery, but they don't want to do the work to be able to get down to a certain weight to get that weight loss surgery. And a lot of times weight loss surgery, they make your stomach smaller and or to give you the band to put on your stomach. Now, what does that do? It prevents you from eating too much. I'm getting triggered, so I digress.
Okay. You just had your bypass about 2 months ago. And when you left the hospital, you were down to 546. So you lost only 9 pounds since then. But Renee has lost almost 50 pounds at the same time. And she hasn't even had her bypass yet. What in the world is going on with you?
Because he knows what's happening. They're not eating right, they're not doing right. It's always the same story. Always the same story. You got an actual reality show where they show what's happening. They show it. They have the evidence to see what's happening. They got cameras in your house. They got all of that. Okay? And you have a doctor right here who's dealing with patients in the hospital, performing the surgeries. It's actually him with a team, of course, performing the surgery. Yeah, mainly sugar and carbs. Exactly. Mainly sugar and carbs. That's it. It's always the same thing. Let's keep on going with this video, and then I'm going to just keep on rocking with the next topic. I don't want to talk about this topic too much tonight. Let's keep on going.
Wait, are you saying that doctors don't understand obesity? Doctors?
Doctors do not understand obesity.
In one of her published studies, Dr. Stanford found that most medical schools don't teach that obesity is a disease, and in fact don't even offer courses on it, even though it's the second leading cause of preventable death in the country.
That's not true. You're talking about heart disease. That's that comes from being obese, but it's not that obesity is why you die. You die because your heart failed from being too fat.
After smoking.
Why they gotta lie so much on the TV? Like, why lie so much? I don't like people that just outright lie like that. What's the purpose of doing that? That video, you can find it 60 minutes. You can find it right there on the YouTube. I don't want to show you the whole video. We don't got that much time. But the whole point is you have people in the government that are caping for these people that, you know, the body positive movement, the Lizzo and stuff like that. You see that a lot on commercials. They're trying to push that as being normal because they want to cater to that particular audience rather than making them feel bad and not being able to generate revenue from that group. They'll monetize that group and say, it's okay to be 800 pounds. We got clothes for you. Come shop with us. You know what I'm saying? You don't even got to leave your house. You can stay right there in your bed where you get hosed down for a bath every day and order this right now online. And that's just what it is. All right. It's so simple. I'm going to read some of these comments and I'll move on here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Now, the question people are asking is, hey, how can they afford to live like this? Food stamps. Okay, food stamps, government assistance. A lot of them on disability. They get SSI. They get all kind of checks from the federal government. And then let's not forget the scamdemic, all the stimulus money that was out there. You know what the stimulus money made people get fatter. It wasn't necessarily the pandemic. I mean, part of the pandemic, if you were locked down or something like that, and you're in your house bored, you might eat from boredom, but also people just had money they never had before. You got a person that never had any kind of money, now has like $10,000. And what are they going to do with that? Are they going to put that into the stock market? Are they going to save it? Are they going to be responsible? No. Not all the time. Sometimes. I know. Well, they will sometimes, ABL. They generally won't, okay? If they're living in poverty, always have, and they get all of a sudden this big amount of money, they're not going to understand what to do with it, typically. They may sometimes, but usually they don't. So what are they going to do? Hey, we balling out of control. We're going to Chili's every day. We're going to Captain D's. We're going to all the restaurants. We're buying whatever we want in the store. Walmart, first of the month. We're not just buying EBT approved stuff. We're going to get lobster, shrimp, steak, and all that. Eating everything all day, every day. Not working. So you're just going to be stuffing your face with all this pleasurable food, sugar and salt and fat and carbs, all that kind of good stuff. Now you are 100 pounds heavier. Why? Because you ate so much. You ate so much. Hey, straight to the casino. That's right, Carl. Straight to the casino. Straight to the restaurant after the casino, Waffle House, 3 o'clock in the morning, eating the whole menu. The TikTok trends, yo, let me get a sandwich with a waffle. Let me get a Belgian waffle with eggs and steak and syrup on it. Let me get that and eat that at 3 o'clock in the morning. But you know what? The reason why I'm fat is because of genetics. Be for real. Be for real. Like, let's stop playing games here. Yeah, that craft beer, hey, it do it to you. You know, shout out to all the guys out there that drink that beer. They got that big beer belly. You know, luckily I don't got that. I don't got no big beer belly. Okay, I'm trying to get the abs. I'm trying to get the ab game going, but I might need to go to like below 200 pounds. I ain't really trying to do that at this moment. Yeah, Duke Rose said I just explained his life. Hey man, I know the game. I've been there. I'm not exempt from that kind of lifestyle. I've done it. I done been the guy to go to the middle of the mall spot. You know, that Japanese place, Sakura, Japan. Have you ever seen them make that food at Sakura, Japan? You know what I'm talking about. The chicken they give you, where they be out there with a tray, say, hey, you want some of this? It be on a little toothpick. You take some. It's delicious, right? Have you ever seen them make that? They get this big bucket of pink slop, literally pink slop, and they chop it into bits on on the grill. And they serve you that on the bed of some rice, probably some old rice because they fried the rice, right? Fried rice is old rice. It could be there for days. They fry some old rice up, all kind of grease and salt and sugar and fat. This pink slop, it's nice little chicken-sized portions. Put that on your plate and you eat that. I've been there. And don't get me started on soul food. Oh my goodness. I eat very clean. Like what I eat today. Okay, here's what I had for the whole day. And I'm gonna move on, I promise. But this is a very passionate thing for me because I've seen people in my family, like in my cousins or whatnot, that have dealt with this kind of issue with obesity. I've been a lot bigger, lost a lot of weight. I was as high as 280 and got down to 180. But now I'm at a good weight at about 215, 220. I feel good and strong right here at my height at 6'3". Anyway, so today I had one of those Kind bars and some like zero sugar or no sugar oatmeal, low sugar or zero sugar oatmeal in the morning. Had that for being regular, right? With my digestion. And then what I do I have like one big meal. That what I just said, like a small bowl of oatmeal and a Kind bar for breakfast. Water all day long. I got water right here. And then I got coconut water for hydration. This is a coconut smoothie, actually, from Trader Joe's. Okay, for hydration, to be hydrated and to talk a lot. For my meal, for my lunch, eat that right around 2 o'clock. I have some grilled chicken I put on the Foreman grill with light seasoning, some olive oil. I don't fry my chicken or nothing crazy like that. No flour. Just chicken breast. Not chicken breast, chicken thighs. Light olive oil, light seasoning, some white rice or brown rice, don't matter. And I steam some broccoli. I put it in the steamer, light pepper on it. That's my meal. And I've not had anything to eat since. If I eat something tonight, maybe I have a peanut butter jelly sandwich, a small peanut butter jelly sandwich, or I have some plantain chips, or maybe like some peanut butter, like out the actual thing. But that's it. That's my meal for the day. I don't eat like a hog. And honestly, I'm still 215 pounds. Now imagine somebody that's eating Waffle House breakfast in the morning. They're eating Belgian waffle, syrup, sugar everywhere. That ain't nothing but high fructose corn syrup usually. Unless you get the real maple syrup from the tree, but you probably don't. You're getting high fructose corn syrup on your joint. You got all kind of eggs, and eggs are okay. That's a protein. But you got all kind of food. You have too many calories at once. Breakfast. Then here comes lunch. You go on to Chick-fil-A. You go on some fast food place, scarfing that down. Okay, peanut oil, all kind of stuff in your jank. Then dinner, you eat a big dinner. Dinner you have 6 o'clock. You eating a whole full, like a big crazy meal. It's like, why? You about to go to bed in a little bit. All you're gonna do is sit on them calories, and you wonder why you can't lose weight. But I'm done on that. Yeah, I'm gonna do cooking. I'm gonna do a cooking channel and something about nutrition because that area, I feel like I'm an expert a little bit. I'm not an expert, but I think I am. You know what? I identify as an expert in the day and age of being able to identify as male, female, X, Y, and Z, pronoun, gender, whatever. I identify as a nutrition expert. I do well for myself. I eat very well. I never had any sickness, no illness, nothing like that. You know, if I get like a little tickle in my throat, like I felt I'm about to get sick, give me some chicken noodle soup in the can, some chunky soup with some rice in it, some little chicken pieces, some cayenne pepper in there. You know, bust that down and I'm getting money right afterward. You know, no vaccine, none of that good stuff. No, never had a flu shot in my life, ever. So why would I get the vaccine? It don't make no sense. But I will go ahead and digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. Somebody said, because I'm 38 years old and I got a great beard. Somebody said, you don't take care of yourself. I mean, it's hereditary. I think the gray's hereditary. Like, you know, dad was like that, granddad was like that. They just got gray early, but they just decided to dye their beards and whatnot until they get to be older. I just don't even really care. I don't want to put dye or beige ink in my beard because I heard that it's not good for you. So I just let it rock like this, you know, but I'll keep on moving here. There's a lot we got to talk about. Speaking about health and all that good stuff, have you heard your man Bill Gates talking about the vaccine? Have you seen this clip? I played it in my video speaking about Aaron Rodgers being villainized for his vaccination status, but let's just play this right quick if you have not seen it in full. Shout out to my man Ian Malchion for posting the video.
The current vaccines are not infection blocking. They're not broad, so when new variants come up, you lose protection. And they have very short duration, particularly in the people who matter, which are old people. And every one of those things is fixable. In fact, doing that work is going to help vaccinology very, very.
One more time because you didn't hear it.
The current vaccines are not infection blocking.
The current vaccines are not infection blocking. Didn't they already say that? Didn't your friend from the CDC, Rochelle Walensky, say that? She said the vaccines do not prevent transmission, which means you cannot stop yourself from catching it or spreading it if you're vaccinated. But when the vaccines first came out, what did they say? Oh, if you get this, you're doing it for your meemaw, for your pawpaw, because they're elderly. And if you don't get vaccinated, you're going to spread it to them and they're going to die. And you can be, if they die, it's your fault. Imagine how many people carry guilt with them if one of their grandparents died from maybe catching the virus from them. Imagine that. When in reality, they couldn't have done anything about it. It's not even their fault at all. Mask, vax, nothing would have stopped it. Imagine fate comes in and you're just distraught because that happened and you couldn't control. You could have done something to fix it, but you didn't. When in reality, you cannot do anything to fix it.
They're not broad, so when new variants come up, you lose protection, and they have very short duration.
So you don't have protection. It's low duration. All they claim at this point is that the vaccine just prevents you from hospitalization. But RP to my man Colin Powell. RP to Colin Powell, he had the vaccine, died. So what happened to that? Oh, he was elderly, but it's for the elderly. So what are we talking about here?
Particularly in the people who matter, which are old people. And every one of those things is fixable. In fact, doing that work is going to help vaccinology very, very broadly.
That's Bill Gates, the patron saint of vaccination, saying they don't work. But back 2 years ago when I said that, I was a bad guy. I was villainized. I was the one that was a conspiracy theorist, as were you guys out there as well. You got friends and family talking about, oh, well, you don't believe in getting vaxxed. I heard about marriages breaking up over that. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that particular, that TikTok of the young lady talking about that. Because that was pretty crazy. Okay, yeah. Here we go. Shout out to Matt Couch for this one, for reposting it. Let's check it out. All right, probably got music right here. I don't want to play the music, but you could just look at the screen. So we got a young lady, okay, and she is doing a TikTok. TikTok is a plague on this planet, a plague. So she's doing a TikTok dance somewhere. Hopefully she's not in a public place. And the title is "Why My Ex Is My Ex." And she's dancing and she's pointing to something that says, "Won't get vaccinated. Doesn't believe in the vaccine. Anti-vaxxer." isn't vaccinated, doesn't trust science, and then what else? Is there one more? Or that's it? Okay, and then you got the strong independent woman pose. Yeah, I showed him. I broke up with him because he doesn't believe in science. Well, I don't believe in myocarditis. I don't believe in pericarditis. I don't believe in blood clots. I don't believe in cardiac arrest. How about that? How about that? 25-year-old wearing a Rolling Stones t-shirt, red flag. Okay. But anyway, I digress. But that was pretty common though. People's relationships broke up over vaccination status. Okay. I can't relate to that, but a lot of people can. I feel sorry for the young guys out there that are dealing with that kind of stuff. It's like, man, what in the world are we doing? What are we doing? No mask or nothing. None of that going on. Okay. Yeah, big, super, I don't want to say the word in there. I almost got a little carried away. She didn't know one Rolling Stones song or nothing. Nothing at all. Okay. Nothing at all. So, and speaking about boosters, let's talk about that right quick. I'll play the Aaron Rodgers clip in a moment. But speaking about boosters, so what's his name? Joe Scarborough was on MS13 DNC talking about getting his fourth booster, and he should have gotten his fourth booster because he'd been completely knocked down with the virus. So he missed his fourth booster, but he had his third booster. So what is that total? Like, I guess 4 shots, because you got your initial shot and then the first, second, and third booster. You had 4 shots and that wasn't enough. You needed more. It seems like it's a scam at a certain point. I mean, it's like you're writing the government a blank check. And shout out to Joe and Mika. This whole thing, before I play this video, remember there's a scandal going on right now with TJ Holmes and Amy Robots, right? Okay. They were both married, started an affair at work, okay? That's the same thing they did, Joe and Mika. When they got together, they were both married and were co-workers at MS13 DNC, MSM, or NBC, wherever they were. Then they eventually got married. But I think the situation here is different network, perhaps, and that might be it. Some are going to say racial elements are involved, but I'm not really sure that's the case. I think it's just Disney trying to be virtue signaling. But anyway, let's play this video, and let's hear Joe talk about his back status and how he still done caught the bug after 4 shots, and he should have got another one, number 5, to stop himself from getting it. Although Bill Gates just said they don't prevent catching the virus. You still catch it, and you still may have severe complications and side effects. So thank you to my man, Modern Renaissance, man. He says it's a total of 6 by the time you get to the 4th booster. Wow. So he done already had 5 shots, and he needed number 6 to not get sick. It sounds like a heroin addict. Hey, I got to have my next hit so I don't get sick. Big Pharma wouldn't do that. Big Pharma would not put you on a thing that you got to get hooked on in perpetuity to keep getting money from you. They would never do that, right? They would never create a synthetic heroin that kills more than anything else in the whole world right now, or at least in the US, that's so addictive they can't live without it, and they're going to keep producing it because of the addiction. Therefore, it ain't nothing but a blank check. But whatever. Let's go ahead and play this video.
It's interesting. I had not gotten my COVID booster.
Mm-hmm. Which one? The 4th?
The 4th. Yeah. Because, we went to London, then got COVID.
Yeah.
Got completely knocked down for a while.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Months.
Exactly. Well, I wouldn't say months.
You were knocked down for months.
Months?
Yes.
I wouldn't say months.
No, it was a long time.
So anyway, weeks. TJ just weeks. I think it was weeks. I was fatigued for a long time.
It took 3 months.
I'd say it's very interesting, though, because we're learning a lot more about what your resistance to COVID may be.
Yeah.
What was that, back in September? Just got my checkup, and the antibodies are like at 100% right now.
Interesting.
So it kind of works out. But again, we found out the boosters, the vaccines, they don't stop the disease, but they certainly do make a big impact. Instead of me being down for a month.
I can't tell. Make a big impact how? Make a big impact on the side effects. Cardiac arrest. I don't know about anything else. Where's the big impact? You didn't had 5 shots and still you were knocked out of the game for 3 months from the bug. That's not very effective to me. That's not very effective. I mean, at a certain point, you got to ask yourself, am I getting sick from the bug or am I getting sick from the shots? You got to ask yourself the whole Look, I've been traveling. I've been in different hotels, flights, rental cars. I don't wear no mask. I just do whatever, right? I've done a little bit of whatever, okay? And check it out. I didn't ate. I'm going to tell you what I did, right? Don't tell nobody. Keep it right here between us, right? Don't tell nobody else. I was in Costco, and I went to the little, the food section, and I got a slice of pizza. I didn't wash my hands. I just ate it with my hands. You know what I'm saying? No towels or nothing. Just straight ate it. But I didn't die. I mean, at a certain point, you can't live in the bubble because once you leave the bubble, then you're going to have complications. And I think that could be happening right now with your man, Joe Scarborough, and many others. I'm not trying to judge you if you did that without necessarily understanding what's going on, but it's time to let it go. It's time to move on because obviously that's not working very well.
Month.
Right.
With fatigue, if I'd taken the booster, I would have probably sneezed and said, what was that? And kept going.
Exactly.
That's the difference. And so I love when people go, oh, I'm not going to accuse the difference. So you still get COVID if you get that. No, that's not the purpose of it. That's never been the purpose of the flu shot. It's so it builds up your resistance, just like actually getting COVID builds up your resistance.
Exactly.
So
keep you from going to the hospital.
So do yourself a favor, right? And get off the websites.
The websites, okay. How about I get off MSNBC.com? How about that? That might work better for me.
That Chinese religious cults.
And what was up with that? He just said Chinese religious cults. That was a shot at Falun Gong. That was so random. So you're talking about C-19, the vax or whatever, get off the websites and then get off of the Chinese religious cults. You just basically carried out a Xi Jinping order to attack Falun Gong. For what though? Why? Did you get paid to do that? That was so random. And if you're not listening to that kind of stuff, you won't even catch it. If you don't know to hear it, it won't even really, you won't remember it until you see a documentary about it. And then you go back to what Joe Scarborough said. Until you see some news story about it, then you go back to what Joe Scarborough said. Let me rewind that in case you missed it. Was that okay? That was shot at Epic Times. Okay, yeah, there we go. That's what's going on. Yeah, Epic Times.
Websites that Chinese religious cults.
So, okay, Epic Times is run by Falun Gong. Falun Gong is considered a Chinese religious cult by China, by CCP. I've seen them out in life. Like I remember one time I was in Atlanta and they were out there. I went to a Trump event in Atlanta, probably about 3 years ago, maybe. But I think before the scandemic, probably. He spoke there, and I was there. A lot of Diamond and Silk were there. RP Diamond, they were there. Stacey Washington was there. A lot of us were there. A lot of big names in the conservative movement, the Black conservative movement, were there. But after we leave the event, it's these two Chinese people talking about Trump read the paper, Trump read the paper, good the paper, Trump read the paper. And they had newspapers, like actual newspapers, and it said Epic Times on it. So yeah, they're out there hustling like Nation of Islam. Wasn't no bean pies or nothing, no, but they had their newspaper out there giving it to you for free. So yeah, they are Chinese, but from my interaction, they're pretty cool. I don't really see the problem, but I mean, they pick and choose, so they want to attack that Chinese on MSNBC, but different story, and I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And also, speaking about people that passed away, rest in peace to my friend Shirley Hussar. She passed away It might have been a couple of days ago. From what I'm reading, and I don't know, but I think the person that posted it is a good source because they know Shirley very well. She had cancer. So I guess she had been fighting for a while, but unfortunately, she did not make it. You may or may not have heard about Shirley Hussar. She's not like a celebrity, like on television, but a lot of us in the movement, a lot of black conservatives know of Shirley. She gave me my first speaking engagement, or one of my very first speaking engagements out there in DC back in like 2017. It was like very early in my whole YouTube experience. So yeah. And then I saw her again when I was in Virginia. She did the conference out there. I was out there for that. This might have been 2018, I think. That's me right there. Long time ago. Obviously on the right. I look a little bit different. And that's my man T West right there on the left. Shout out to T West. And that's Shirley Hussar right there in the middle. This is in Virginia. This is in Suffolk, Virginia. May she rest in peace. She'll be missed. You know. Yeah, a lot of you guys, I think she's been on the channel before. She's been on the stream before. If you guys have been watching religiously, you may have seen her on the stream a couple of times. Absolutely. Yep. So I wanted to say that because that's somebody that was really, really involved in the movement. Very much so. Her and the sons, shout out to y'all if y'all watching. Good dudes. All right. But we got a whole lot going on. There's just a lot happening right here. Oh, I almost forgot about the whole thing about Aaron Rodgers. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers right quick, and I'll keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, here we go. So they played some of the clip on Fox. Let me see if I can find the full clip. And then we shall continue. All right. But yeah, I had no idea Aaron Rodgers was 39 years old. It's like, man, he's still out there doing it. And people were really upset at Aaron Rodgers after the whole situation. So remember what Aaron Rodgers said, it might have been 2021, I suppose. A reporter asked him, are you vaccinated? He was like, yeah, I'm immunized. Now, he didn't say he was vaccinated. He said, I'm immunized. So, and I think what he was trying to say was, well, I don't have the vaccine, but I'm immunized. Like, I'm good. I'm not going to really get sick. I don't believe he did get sick. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But it was later found out he did not get vaccinated, actually. People say, oh, you're a liar. You hate people. You're not a team player, all this, that, and the third, right? That was a allegation against Aaron Rodgers. And he was hated by many as a result of that. And then he won MVP that same year in the NFL. Oh, they hated that. So Aaron Rodgers is saying, look, I'm now cast as the villain because of some things, because of the whole vaccine thing. Whatever I do, people just want to hate on it. Let me see if I can find the full clip. I mean, there's a whole big thing. There's a whole podcast, like an hour-long podcast. We don't got that kind of time at all. All right. He's on a Pat McAfee show. Shout out to him. I had no idea Pat McAfee had that many subs. Shout out to Pat McAfee.
A man who might be in the middle of watching Wales right now.
Right.
No. Is that?
So you're still in the Phillies?
I'm happy you cleared the air on that whole thing. We agree. You said a lot about wanting to win, and physically you were able to still play at an MVP level, you thought. And that was the question that I posed. So also we are in
mostly the best quarterback.
And Peter and everybody.
Right.
Oh, you're saying
he's excited for the possibility talk about some of these ideas, but
I ain't be able to find it. It's too long. I don't got that kind of time. Let me just go to the clip. That'll get the job done. Let's do it. Wish I had timestamps so I could just, get from point A to point B. That'd be good.
I want to tap into your sports mind for a second, but still stay with the COVID theme. Aaron Rodgers got immunized, but didn't get the shot famously. Yeah. And he says the whole perception of him in the league and the country changed. Listen.
There's heroes and villains in in sports and entertainment. And I think because of my stance on COVID and maybe some other things, I've been cast as the villain, especially the last few years. This woke culture wants to be offended by everything. You just go online and find something you don't agree with. I'm offended. How could you possibly say that? Yes. I don't really care. I don't care who it's coming from or who said it.
He's not a villain unless he's on Twitter. Not many people think he's a villain, or am I wrong?
He's a villain to many people because of the whole vaccine stance. But, people, the same thing with Kyrie Irving, also a villain because of the vaccine stance. People trying to call him a moron and whatnot on TV, Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley. But now people like Aaron Rodgers and Kyrie Irving, Jonathan Isaac, shout out to you, Jonathan Isaac, coming back. Been gone for a while, now you're back. They're all saying, the people that villainize them are all saying, oops, sorry. Or if they don't say sorry, they should say sorry, because now they came out and said that if you are vaccinated, you're more likely to catch the XBB 1.5 variant, the most dominant variant, in a place like New York City right now. You are more likely to catch that now after being vaccinated. Okay? More likely to catch it. You are not going to stop the spread at all. You are more likely to catch it and spread it if you're vaxxed. So shout out to the purebloods out there. If you're not pureblood, hey, it's okay. I'm sorry. Everybody can't be this beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It's like that, right? That's just life. It's unfair sometimes. But seriously, I mean, many of us knew from the beginning what it was, and we stood on that. And that's what I'm gonna always do. I'm gonna stand on whatever I say. Whatever I say, including the whole thing about Crowder, the vax, anything, I'm gonna stand on it, because if you have confidence, I ain't gonna get into Crowder really. I might talk about that a little bit. But if you have confidence in whatever you think, whatever you feel, your conviction, stand on that. Never back down from what you believe in. When they want you to apologize and make statements, don't do it. You're never really gonna be able to please these people. You can't please anybody or everybody all the way. All you can do is be true to yourself. When you look in the mirror and you see yourself, you got to be able to be comfortable and content and happy and say, you know what? I am being myself. I'm not an actor. I'm not fake. I'm not a phony. I'm being a genuine person. And that's me. I really couldn't care less about anything else. And that's how I built my whole channel. Like when I first came out on YouTube, that was the purpose, is just to be me and to be somebody that was different. And I knew that just me being me, I'm different. I always been like that. Anybody that knows me know I'm just kind of an odd person sometimes, walk to the beat of my own drum. I got to be that. I can't be anything else other than that. I can't, just kind of go along and get along. Shout out to Kwame Brown for that one. I can't do it. I never have been able to do that and never will be able to do that. All right, so that's just what it is. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Now, okay, I'll talk about Crowder briefly. I promise. I will not bring it up anymore unless I have to. The only reason why I brought it up, again, is because he did a response video. I feel like it'd be unfair if I just covered one side of the response to Daily Wire and not his side. So I got to be fair to both sides. I put the video out so late that day because I didn't even want to do it. I was like, man, I ain't doing no more videos. I'm done. But then I was like, nah, I got to be fair. I'm a fair person. I got to be fair here. I couldn't care less about people subbing, or I'm driven sometimes to do videos, and it comes from inside of me. I got to do it. All right. I got to do it. So let me just go back to the whole thing. So Crowder responded, and I'm gonna touch on it briefly. Some of you guys say no, some of you guys say yes. I'll touch on it briefly, and then I move on. Okay, yeah, y'all cool with that? If y'all say no, I'm not gonna do it. But if you say yes, I'll do it. If I put up a poll, it's gonna be like 50-50, I guarantee you. Now, let's play this clip right here. Hold on one second. I'll play a couple of clips, and y'all can discuss amongst yourselves. All right, let's play this right here. So this is him on the Timcast show, and this show was crazy. Like, he had They had 135,000 concurrent watching. That's nuts. You're talking about better than TV. That right there is crucial. So, people say yes, no, yes, briefly, please, no, yes, briefly, okay, briefly, I promise, and then I'm done. And then if y'all call in and want to talk about it, that's fine. I'll talk about whatever you want to talk about, as long as it ain't nothing weird, no trolly stuff, no, extra stuff that'll get me banned from the platform. You know what I mean? Don't put up nothing crazy on the screen. But let's just play this clip, and then I'll speak on it briefly and get to the next one, and then move forward. Was 178,000 concurrent watching at the peak? Wow, those are amazing numbers. I said it before. Crowder is the biggest conservative on the platform, hands down. He's the biggest draw on the platform, hands down. However, can Daily Wire even afford to give him what he wants? So here's the thing. The offer sheet was like for $50 million over the course of 4 years. Crowder is saying it's not enough, but it's not about money. You see what I'm saying? It isn't enough, but it's not about money. Okay, let's just play this right here.
Before we get to like the finances,
let's go to the timeline.
Let me ask you this: if someone publicly was going, and by the way, I'm not going to be doing the personal stuff. I'm not going to be coming in here calling anybody a bitch.
Okay, so I gotta censor some of this, but y'all understand what happened was Candace Owens came on to Timcast a couple of days ago, or a couple of days before this, and then of course she's upset at what Steven Crowder does because she's over there at Daily Wire with them. So when you attacking Daily Wire, you attacking her too. Those are her friends. She works with them, and she has a contract with them. So when you say Daily Wire does bad business and they have bad contracts, you're insinuating that she also has a bad contract. So burping. So she's saying people are hitting her up talking about, hey, you have a bad contract. You're at Daily Wire. They do bad business. So now she's being attacked by people because of what Steven Crowder said. Now she has to defend herself. Some are saying, well, they outed themselves. I mean, come on. You got to be kind of silly. Like I said before, Crowder read a term sheet that's talking about ad reads and $50 million and the conservative platform. And this is my friend, all this and that and the third. How many places can afford to give him that kind of money that are conservative? And how many have ad reads? It wouldn't be Fox News. He didn't already burn that bridge anyway, but it wouldn't be Fox because they don't do live ad reads. So they cancel right away. It wouldn't be The Blaze. He was just there. It wouldn't be PJTV. Are they even around anymore? CRTV is now The Blaze. So who else could it have been? Epic Times? I think not. PragerU, they are the same as Daily Wire, basically. Dennis Prager and Ben Shapiro are besties. So it's Daily Wire. And everybody not gonna say everybody, many people put two and two together, and people are gonna find out. The internet, let Reddit have it. They would have figured out who the person, they would have figured out where the offer sheet came from in 24 hours flat or less. They would have figured it out. So don't say, oh, you didn't put him out there when you did. We knew who it was. Okay. Those of us that know. And we would have put it out there. And now Daily Wire's got to defend themselves. So if Daily Wire says nothing and just lets it ride because the name didn't get put out there, but people know it's still them, they're going to be like, oh, you're trying to hide away from Steven Crowder. You're not really trying to say anything. You guys are cowards. If they say something, oh, he didn't out you. You shouldn't have done it. You guys are dumb. It's a lose-lose. Ultimately, Crowder shouldn't put it out there. If you do not like a term sheet, an offer from a company, just say no or negotiate. You don't got to put them out there like they're some kind of malicious person because they gave you an offer sheet that was not to your liking. I mean, maybe they can't afford to do anything other than that. Or maybe they can afford to do more, but negotiate. And if you can't come to terms, maybe it's not because they're being malicious or they are trying to be, stonewalling conservative figures. Maybe they can't afford to give you what you want. And if that's the case, it's okay. How about get it over there somewhere else or get it on your own? It's simple. Why you got to put them out there like that? Like it's some kind of bad company. If I get offered a job by somebody and the terms are not what I want, I just won't take it. It's business. It ain't personal. Now, he's friends with Jeremy Boring, but you got to be able to divide between a personal relationship and the business one. I seen you the contract. You don't even got to worry about it. Send it to your lawyer. You got a lawyer and an agent. Let them do it, which he did let them do it. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. Let them do it. Don't even talk to me. Talk to my lawyer and your lawyer. They'll figure it out. We can remain friends over here, but the business side, the money side, have that over there. Don't even involve me in it. Don't even involve yourself in it. Let our people handle it that way. That's the way it should be. When you're trying to get personal with business and having your family members work for you and stuff like that, it always kind of goes wrong because there's an expectation or an entitlement of, oh, you'll do this for me. You'll do that for me. You'll look out for me. You'll help me out. No. Lawyer, business. Crowder, boring, friends. I digress.
Itch, right? Sending out hatchet people.
And to talk about this, so he called Candace a hatchet person because he said that she was sent out there to attack him. Meanwhile, she was booked for Timcast a month and a half before. So this is what I'm talking about. The gaslighting and the lying.
I understand why Candace was mad. Honestly, I understand why she was mad. I'd probably be mad too. So I don't think it gives an excuse to go and talk the way like every girl does who gets their husband into a fight at a bar, but I understand why she was upset. If you had the ability, if someone's going out saying, hey, you're a difficult person who only cares about the money and that you're a bitch, and you had the opportunity to clear it in because it was verifiably untrue, which now no one is arguing, would you do it? How else would people switch from, it was about a $50 million salary to, oh, recording a phone call? Do we allow it when James O'Keefe does it? Is it only when corruption is on the side of the left? And
so he's comparing himself. He's comparing himself recording his friend Jeremy Boring about a contract dispute between the two of them, some money between the two of them to Project Veritas. Now, you guys know Project Veritas and James O'Keefe. They're out here outing people that are trying to abuse children. They're talking about critical race theory in elementary school. They're talking about all types of really vile stuff. Some stuff that is kind of illegal. At best, it's unethical. At worst, it's straight illegal. You're talking about some really, really bad people. You're talking about people at Twitter saying, yeah, we do censor conservatives because they're horrible people, they're trash people. Like, we cried at Google when Trump won, that kind of stuff. Project Veritas uncovers. You're talking about political things that are going on, okay? Some real corruption with the voting system and stuff like that. What you're talking about is a contract dispute between two guys about your money, not about some bigger political issue. That's what Project Veritas does, not you. So don't say you're the same as James O'Keefe. You're not. You're just a guy trying to get more money, point blank.
Here's the issue is, I'll tell you who this hurts, the dishonesty. I'm not just saying.
I know it's not brief. I'm sorry. I know it's not brief. I get passionate. I got to talk, but I'm going to cover this and move on. I promise.
Daily Wire, this is about the entire movement as a whole. There are a lot of practices that go on, and it hurts the sponsors, hurts the creators, hurts.
That's pretty much that for that. And then I got one more video. Then that's it.
I'm on your side on this one. Everybody can know my bias. The reason that really bothered me is because I run a company. I know how much money we make, and there are people who assume that revenue equals money in your pocket profit, and it's like no. If they're giving him $50 million, it sounds so wonderful.
They're assuming you're dumb.
So it's not about money, but $50 million ain't nothing. It's not about, he said it's not about money, but the money they offer me is not enough. And my agent counter offered with more money, but it's not about money. My agent said, I want more money. My agent works for me. He says, okay, we can do these terms, but more money. Okay. We're sending back a counter offer with more money in it, but it's not about money. I promise. $50 million ain't enough. I got kids to feed. I got mouths to feed. Shout out to Latrell Speedwell. I got a family to feed. I can't afford to get $50 million in 4 years. Okay. But it's not about money though. But I'm complaining about money right now on the show. But check it out. It's not about money.
They're treating the audience like they're dumb again.
Well, no. A lot of people don't.
But here's the
understand
thing.
This.
People don't understand because they're assuming that you won't go and do research. Look, $50 million basketball money versus $12 million. If let's say Marvel says, I don't know, the new Thor movie is $200 million. Is that Hemsworth's salary? It's that simple of an analogy.
Yeah.
But the issue here,
okay, you got 25 employees, right? 25 employees. So let's say they all get paid $100,000, which they don't. $100,000 net. Like let's say you get paid 12.5 net, and it's not taxes, not nothing like that. Let's just say it's 12.5 net a year, and you got 25 employees at $100,000 a year. So what's that? 2.5 million? Am I wrong about that? Y'all let me know if my math is right. 2.5. So out of 12 points, we still got 10 left every year. Over 4 years, you got $40 million. So what else are you paying for? Daily Wire has a whole staff of people. They got all the production and everything you need. What else are you really paying for? You have your equipment. You have your studio. But the studio space, okay, is that it? How much does that cost per month? What, probably about at the most 5 bands. So $60,000 a year on top of that. You still right around $10 million. So what else are you paying for real? Like, let's not play no games. You're not some kind of Hollywood blockbuster film. I mean, come on. What are we talking about?
Let Gerald kind of talk about that more. The issue here is, like, I think that these people at Daily Wire, they've said that they're very business savvy. They're running a business. So are they very business?
Okay, taxes. I know how much taxes cost. Like, let's say the 12.5 is not net and it's gross, and you got to pay taxes on that. And you got business expenses and whatnot, so you got write-offs and everything. So you might pay 20% of that 12.5 at the end of the day after you pay your business expenses and wrote that off. And, you know, you got 6,000-pound vehicles and all that kind of other weird stuff. You got your office and you got everything that you're paying for. You're paying for your agent. You're paying for this. You're paying for that. Okay, whatever. Let's say you pay 20% of the 12.5. So you're talking about what? Let's see, maybe about about $3 million off of that, because 20% of 10 would be 2. So right around 3.5. So let's say you pay 3 out of 12.5. You got 2.5 for your employees, down to 10, taxes down to 7. So now what? Over the course of 4 years, still got what, 28 million? So what are we saying? It's like this is just bogus, man. You're not paying for that much. You're not paying for that much.
Savvy. And no, are they dumb and don't know that 12?
I mean, why do I care about anything? Somebody says, why do I care? It's not affecting me. I mean, we cover all kinds of stories here. What Aaron Rodgers does not affect me. Aaron Rodgers being the villain doesn't affect me, but I still cover it. So why don't you ask me why does that not? Why do I cover that? It doesn't affect me.
$0.5 million a year for an entire production house is what we're actually looking at. Or are they lying when they say it's basketball money and $50 million salary? I think Candace Owens at one point got up to like 140 or something. I don't
So
really.
you said you wanted $30
Right.
million a year or 140.
And the
million.
only reason people know that's not true, and you've seen the transcript, you ever see me once say, hey, it's about more money? There was never an offer sent after I said, look, it's a non-starter if you don't change these terms, and please tell me that you're not doing this with other people. There was never anything after that where it was, of course the non-starter is, I can't do 5 live reads because we do commercials.
I just want to ask one specific question, because a lot of people are bringing this up and they're accusing you guys of only exposing them after they turned down your counteroffer. Is that true, or can you add more information to that?
Yeah, I don't know why they're saying the timeline that he kind of gave was completely inaccurate.
You're dodging the question because he asked you about the counteroffer. You're dodging the question. Oh, I don't know about the timeline. That wasn't the question, sir. The question was about the counteroffer. Let's talk about the counteroffer you made, because you're saying you did not want to do it. It was bad terms, a bad deal. So you rejected it and you exposed them, but you gave a counteroffer. You're not talking about that part. Everything would have been fine if you got the money you wanted.
Accurate.
Yeah, there was never any counteroffer from us. What Steven said was basically, look, guys, these are the terms that we have.
So he's saying right here, there was not a counteroffer from us. What does that mean? Let's continue to hear him talk, or let's continue to hear them talk.
Problem with.
Right.
And if this, I don't care what the contract says dollar-wise. If these terms are in there, that's bad, and you need to start again. This has to be pulled out.
So there was no counteroffer, because I'm seeing a lot of you guys say
There was the agent. I think my agent. They sent
the agent. So what he's saying right here, the agent counteroffered, but not Steven Crowder. See what I'm saying? So the agent got the contract like they should. The lawyer got the contract like they should. They went through it and they're saying, okay, nah, $50 million ain't enough. Let me get 120. That's what happened. But it's not about money. I promise it ain't about money. Whatever. I'm finished with that. I'm done with Crowder. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't like people that lie. I don't like bullies and liars and whatnot. And somebody keep asking me in the chat. Somebody keep spamming in the chat. Oh, why you care about this ABL? It don't affect you. The stories that I cover don't really affect me. I'm a news channel. I'll cover everything. What Ed Reed does in Bethune Cookman does not affect me. A school does not affect me. I don't go to Bethune Cookman. I don't know Ed Reed. I don't know anybody that goes there. It doesn't affect me, but I'm going to still cover it because it's a hot story. That's what I do. I'm a news channel. It doesn't have to affect me for me to cover it. I don't take things personal like that. That's just, it's very simple. Yeah, I have no agent. I'm a solopreneur. I work by myself. I don't have an agent. I don't have a team around me. It's me. I got people I know that I can call if I need help, but it's me that does everything. And I've always been that way my whole life. Hey, it's not even about money, but let's talk about the money and the agents and the contracts and negotiations and fees and terms that all center around money. It's so silly, but I understand people that are fans of Crowder and they want to support him. I get it. I totally get it. And you guys are great. If you guys are fans of Crowder and you're loyal to him, you guys are great because that shows dedication. But at a certain point, you got to look at somebody for who they are rather than your loyalty to them, which I understand can be difficult. I get it. I'm not a hater. If he has a big fan base and they love him, then that is great. That is great. All right. But we have, I didn't cover everything I wanted to get to. I wanted to cover Ed Reed. I may cover that a different time, but we kind of late in the show. So we got super chats to read. Exactly. Rebel Without a Reason. Rebel Without a Reason says, if it's not about money, then do it for free. Exactly. Do it for free. Don't even talk about any kind of business venture with Daily Wire or anybody else. Just put your videos out on Rumble, non-monetized. Don't read no ads. Don't do no merch. Just do it that way. It is about money. Let's be for real. But I digress. I will digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video. Share the video. Do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got super chats to read. Then I'm going to get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. I'll get to the calls in just a little bit. Super chats right quick. Thank you to Peach Sangria, who says, I am not obese. I am a rotund queen. All righty. Sounds good. Thank you to Misty, who says, I tried to email you. The dates on your Spotify podcast are 2022, not 2023. Thank you for that. I'm gonna fix that. Let me go ahead and make sure I have that open so I don't forget to fix it. I don't even know where it's at. I'm gonna just have to type it in. All right. But yeah, I'm gonna fix that. I read that comment earlier and I forgot that quick because I'll be, yeah, let's go ahead and fix that today. Where are we at here? Thank you to Michael Critchlow, who says, I've been meaning to ask this for a while. Is that a Captain? I've already read that, the Captain America shield right there in the back behind me. Thank you to William Scott Jr., who says, my parents wanted me to get the vaccine. I refused. Got COVID last year and wasn't really bad besides a bad headache. Still not getting that shot. Well, bravo to you. Hats off to you, boss. And don't get it. Do not get it. All right. Thank you to It's Rebecca Starr, who says, prove it. That probably was about Damar Hamlin. I'm not sure. But thank you for your super chat, though. Thank you to No White Guilt, who says, they're just creating more excuses to be lazy and normalize the consequences. Talking about the obesity thing. Yeah, for sure. Thank you to No White Guilt, who also says, genetics don't matter when they deny that genetic groupings exist, but genetics can't make you ride a sofa, eat endlessly, collect welfare, and become a bloated sea beast. No White Guilt says, ABL, quote, I don't believe in myocarditis. I don't believe in pericarditis. Don't believe in blood clots. Don't believe in cardiac arrest. How about that? Yeah, I was feeling the spirit when I was talking about that stuff right there. Let me make sure I got all the super chats before I continue, and we'll get to the calls. You guys know what the number is. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Let me make sure that I'm showing everything what it's supposed to be. And hold on one second. I'm pretty sure I got everything. Yeah, I got everybody I was supposed to get. Okay, I got one more here. Thank you to Nikki Luz, who says, I feel you, ABL. Crowder is doing what the left does, in my opinion, trying to virtue signal. I don't like his face or voice or attitude. Not his face, voice, or attitude. That's hilarious. Thank you to TJ Jizzle, who says, sir, the offer is still on the table. I can add 3 whole followers to your coffers for management of ABL Empire. Thank you for that. I appreciate you, TJ Jizzle. All righty. We got quite a few topics we discussed, and it's now time for the calls. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Hopefully Skype wants to work right today. If it doesn't work right, it's not my fault. Please blame the white man. All right. Let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling here. 860, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. It's Stephanie Rains Xbox.
All righty, what's happening?
Getting a little bit of echo there.
It should be fine now.
Now it's gone. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Oh man, Crowder. I was gonna say this the last time I called. I think it was 2 shows ago, because I don't like to call every show, but I think the same thing. And Candace Owens came up with it separately, that he made this big deal, and the way he's going about doing it is to start his own little contractual producer company, to compete with them, is what was the feeling I got. And then Candace came out and said the same thing. So
it makes sense.
I don't know. What do you think about that?
It makes sense because he's just trying to, attack a company to poach subs from them. And it's kind of like this whole passive aggressive. It's like, okay, I'm not attacking them, but I'm gonna pretty much tell you everything about them. I didn't say their name, but you could pretty much put 2 and 2 together. It's just like what I was saying before. It's like if a guy makes an attack video about me and he doesn't say my name, but he says, hey, there's a guy on YouTube I can't stand. He has flags in the background. He has a gray beard with a black mustache, 38 years old, in Chattanooga, Tennessee, from West Virginia, purple shirt, black hat. Okay. Then they say, oh, well, I didn't say his name. It's like, come on, man. You could still put 2 and 2 together and get 4. We're not dumb over here.
Yeah, bro. I hear you. Love your show, man. They're going to release body cam footage of the Junior January 6th attack on Paul Pelosi.
I cannot wait. I'm ready for that. As soon as they drop it, I'm doing the video immediately. I got to see that body camera because the story made no sense. Okay, who came to the door? Who opened the door? The story made no. I got to see the body cam.
I know. That's what happens when you give the script to a dedicated career alcoholic drug addict. Anyway, I told you that young man, 24 years old, built like a brick house. You ain't gonna knock him over and he's gonna drop dead of a heart attack. Give me a break.
Right.
Come on, man. I played football. I'm only 5'6", and I was out there playing against guys his size and getting ran over, but I didn't have no damn heart attack.
Exactly.
Well, anyway, I'll let you go with that, brother. God bless America, and let's pray for the vaccinated.
Right on, man. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye.
All right, great call. Let's get to some more calls. Number to call, 434-658-1220. Let's go to 912. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, it's Tom down here in Savannah, Georgia. How you doing, ABL?
It's all good, man. How about yourself?
No complaints. The little thunderstorm just passed us. I'm not sure when it got you. You know what I'm saying? It was all up and down the East Coast. I don't know who does the weather.
Yeah, it's kind of been raining a little bit on and off, but we didn't get a storm. Not today.
Yeah, it
at
wasn't
least.
too bad here.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's lots of things to talk about. I mean, Kerry Lake and the 40,000 signatures that don't match. I mean, what do you think about Kevin McCarthy though? Because he didn't seem someone that a lot of people kind of wanted. You got to be careful of rhinos and white hats, black hats, and different aspects of who's good and bad and indifferent in all these alphabet agencies and whatnot. But what do you think of Kevin McCarthy and not letting Swalwell and Pencilneck or whatever on the committees?
I think it's good. I think they're getting some stuff done, and that's what I wanted to see. I don't want to just see them up there doing nothing, a bunch of bloviating, talking. Nah, get some stuff done. So I like to see some type of action, some kind of movement, rather than just stagnation and complacency.
Well, but it was interesting to see him fight for what was it, 4 days or something they did? 12, 13, 14 votes.
Yeah.
But that's good because normal people just don't even pay attention to stuff. They just live their lives and just go through stuff, and they're kind of opening their eyes in a certain sense and well, what is this vote?
Right. Yeah.
What is this Supreme Court decision? They matter.
That's true. That's true. I hope people really pay attention to that, and they now are kind of glued in about what's going on. That's what I hope that did for people, rather than just like you said,
I mean,
not knowing what's going on, letting stuff just happen.
Here's another just like screwball is the whole ATF and the 120 days to this little thing that was lost in the boat accident. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you're going to send it to them and you're going to give them all your info. And it's like, but it really isn't even anything we should be kind of crying about. That's like our rights. We're born with these rights.
Yeah, that's right on.
All right. Well, I mean, there's lots of stuff going on and lots of calls, but I mean, once again, I still think a lot of stuff's going to go on with the voting and the elections and stuff. I don't think it's all settled and done.
I think it's pretty much finished, but we'll see. It'll be some more action surrounding it, but I think it's pretty much a wrap.
Okay. I mean, once again, as you got Biden and all the classified stuff, there's so much stuff to talk about, but you do a great job with the way you do what you do and reporting the best you can and what you know, and just like, it's not always something that's your cup of tea, but you're just like, oh, here's what's going on that people are talking about. So
right on.
Appreciate everything you do, ABL. You have a good night.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right, bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. Let's go to, all righty, 304 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's your favorite West Virginian / Georgian here.
All righty, man. What's
I'm
going
surprised I got through.
Well, I'm glad you're here, man.
I was just going to want to touch on the obesity thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I don't want to put my old lady on blast, but she's a little overweight. But you didn't say anything about metabolism. Now, I'm not, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong here. I'm a skinny white dude, and it takes a lot for me to put on weight and actually keep weight on. And, you know, I was saying the same thing to her, like, just don't eat before you go to sleep, and just watch what you eat. It's just that, you know, like I said, I'm not taking up for obese people, and it's a touchy subject between me and her, because I'm like, you know, if you just, you know, watch what you eat. And she's like, well, you can go in there and lift weights. I mean, I got a whole weight set and everything. But it's harder for me to gain weight than it is for her to lose weight. And I say that, you know, it's diet. I agree with you completely. I was just wanting to say that because it's true. I mean, and she knows that. But I was also wanting to talk about the Damar Hamlin thing. Like, you know, if it was anybody else, say like Tom Brady, like a famous quarterback, you know, he got hurt and then he came back, they would have microphones all in his face, cameras all in his face, and they'd be like, yeah, I feel good, even if he was lying. Like, where's this guy's face? Like,
exactly.
I mean, like, what's up? Like, can we not hear your voice? Can we not see your face? Like, why is all the camera angles behind you, and why are you, like, sneaking around?
Yeah, that was so weird. And it's like, if you're going to do all that, just stay home. Don't even come to the game, because people are going to make assumptions and they're going to ask questions. It was just unnecessary and weird. I don't understand why they did that.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, why can't we just see your face and hear your voice? I mean, it makes the person wonder, like, you know, it just makes a man wonder, or a person, I don't know, men, women. But yeah, I want to go back to the obesity thing, because I don't want you to think that I'm coming off wrong or anybody else. It's just like, you know, some people do have different metabolisms, but at the same time, if you're like, you know, if you're a man and you're 6 foot tall, you should weigh around like 175. I mean, that's the average weight to height ratio. But if you're like a woman and you're like 5'5" and you're like 300 pounds, man, just quit eating, you know, or at least watch what you eat. It's really simple. Like, for me to put on a few pounds is actually pretty hard. I got to do a lot of work to do that. But if you're morbidly obese, it's quite easy, in my opinion, just to watch your diet, and you can drop a lot of weight really fast without even doing any exercise.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, do you agree with that? Like,
I agree 100%. Yeah. Like your diet, if you're like morbidly obese, chances are, well, you're going to be eating poorly. If you just change your diet, you can lose weight. The gym, and because people go to the gym and go there for like 5 minutes and think, okay, they're doing something, but then they go right back to the house and eat the same thing they've been eating. But your diet is going to dictate your weight loss more than anything else. And then you go to the gym for your health, to get toned and to get the nice look, and you know, also for your health, for your cardiovascular health, for your muscular development, all that kind of stuff. That's aside from your weight loss, though.
Exactly. And you know, I work. I kind of hate to put my job out here, but I work at a place that sells groceries, and I see these people. They come in there, and like I see what's in their buggies.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
First of the month is crazy, ain't it?
Yeah. Like if my shift is like from the 1st to the 5th. Like, these people coming in there, they're like waddling around, like just completely out of shape. And I see what's in their buggies, and it's like, okay, you got bacon, you got ice cream, you got just all this crazy stuff, and you go check out, and then you swipe that food stamp card.
Mm-hmm.
And what really, you know, whenever they go to leave, they leave their buggy right there beside their car, and they pull their car right up beside the door, so they don't even got to walk far, and they just, you know, put their buggy somewhere where it won't roll out into the parking lot, and they load their junk food up into their vehicle, and then they leave. It's I don't want to say it, but I'm going to. It's kind of disgusting. Like, so you're getting government benefits, and you're just abusing it, and you're being completely unhealthy, and in some ways disrespectful, in my opinion, is the way they act. Like, some of these people, when all they got to do is, you know, instead of buying ice cream and just, you know, cakes and junk food, they could buy some fruit, some vegetables and whatnot. But that's all I got to say, man. I'm sorry. I've had a few too many beers tonight.
I got you.
I probably should have even called in. But I'll holler at you next time.
Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you.
All right.
Oh, man. Oh, man. That right there was crazy. Shit, quite frankly, it's disgusting. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta get myself together. Hold on. Y'all give me a moment. Hold on. Oh my goodness. All right. I'm good. I promise. All right, back in the saddle. We good. That was crazy. Shout out to my man for the call. 904 online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Nikki. I'm the guy who sent you a super chat talking about how I don't like Crowder's face. Anyway, I wanted to say, awesome that you're a nerd. I think there should be more nerds. First of all, I'm a computer nerd, but I'll jump right into it. Crowder, I don't like his vibe, and I think that you feel that too. And I don't know. I know there's a lot of people on the line who like Crowder a lot, but that's my thing. It's like I get this vibe from people, and Crowder just gives me a bad vibe. And I don't know. It seems like you feel the same way too, because I feel kind of disgusted when I look at him, especially with his attitude towards this whole thing. And I was wondering, is that how you're feeling towards him? Because some people I saw in chat, they were saying that you're biased. So I'm curious what you have to say about that.
I mean, it's just, I don't like people like that do things like that. It's not even necessarily about Crowder himself. Like, I don't feel a certain way about Steven Crowder specifically. It's about people like that, people that gaslight and bully and lie and create drama. And it's just, I don't like the phoniness. It's just like, it's like being in LA where everybody's fake and phony. Everybody's got an ulterior motive. Everybody's out for themselves. They say that they're your friend, but really they're trying to, like just like the whole thing with the recording the conversation and then putting it out there. And the whole point was to try and elevate himself. It's like people like that have no morals, no boundaries, no scruples, no principles, but they masquerade as that out there to the public. So people that do that, it doesn't matter if it's Steven Crowder or, to an extreme case, I'm not trying to compare the two, but Eddie Long. Eddie Long was this this pastor of a church, and before he died, it was found out that he was, touching the boys in the church, but he was supposed to be the guy that was their mentor. Now, I'm not trying to compare the two, so don't nobody get triggered in the chat. I'm just saying people that purport themselves as do-gooders and people that's virtuous are trying to help people, but really are out there out for themselves and don't care who they hurt in the process. I hate that. That's that bully, passive-aggressive. That I don't like.
Yeah, like I said, it seems like he's virtue signaling, and that's something that gets me too. It's like he's acting like he's a big shot, almost like I'm worth more than this. You should give me a lot more money, and I shouldn't lose anything. Anyways, that's just my opinion. But I just also wanted to tell you, great show, and it's really cool to see that you've been so financially independent for the last, you said 16 years in your last video, and I thought that was pretty awesome. So keep it up, man.
Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, have a good night.
Same to you. Yeah, people saying that Candace did that to Nicole Arbor. First of all, Nicole Arbor is a nutcase. Look up Ryan Upchurch and Nicole Arbor. Nicole Arbor is a complete nutcase. Like, if you guys are out here dating women, do not date a woman like Nicole Arbor, a complete crazy fool. Like, just look her up. Look her background up. She's crazy. Now, as far as recording the conversation, did she put it out there to the public? Did she put a video out with the conversation in it? I think what happened was she said she recorded it, but did she put it out there? That's a different story. If you're recording something is different than putting it out there in the video, trying to get money for yourself. So let's be honest about what happened. But y'all let me know what happened in the description. In the comments. Alrighty, Modern Renaissance man, this is you. Can you hear me, boss? I can't. If you're talking, I can't hear you. All right, I can't hear you, boss. So maybe you try to call in a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you. I hear you.
Oh, you hear me good now? Does it sound clear? Does it sound kind of airy?
It sounds decent. It's not the best, but it sounds good. Don't fix it. Like we were good. I don't know what. I can't hear you no more. I should have just said it sounds good. It sounds.
What about now?
You good, boss? Go ahead.
All right, good to see you, man. Long time no hear, my friend.
Oh, likewise, man. Likewise.
Yeah, I guess you guys sound like y'all can hear me from my web mic versus this Shure mic right here. I don't know what's going on with that, but anyhow, yeah, man, there's a lot of stuff that's been kind of brewing with everything that's been going on, and I feel like I'm somebody that can definitely speak on this because you and I had a nice conversation down when we met in Washington, D.C., and you know what I do, and I'm not going to tell too many people what that is because since I've gone viral and been kicking a lot of people's butt left and right, folks have tried to come for both of my licenses, and it's not happening. They couldn't do it no way. So first things first, definitely have a background in a specialty in sports medicine. I worked with a professional team before the Cardinals, got a World Series ring in 2011, so I definitely can speak on this whole Damar Hamlin thing, man. As far as that being a body double, that right there is very strange to me. And let me tell you first and foremost, I've treated at least in my whole career, I've treated at least 400 different athletes that had some shape, form, or fashion of a heart condition after we discovered it. So first thing is this. Damar Hamlin got a clean bill of health. I don't know if people understand what these athletes have to go through before they even able to go on the field. We do a stress test while they're on the treadmill running. We run EKGs the whole nine. So the fact that he took that little bit of a light hit, which everybody already saw, they seen with their own eyes, is I think it might have been his uncle. His uncle came out and said it too, like, hey, it wasn't that hard of a hit. So people thought it was commercial cordis, whatever, which it could have been. I'm not going to rule that out. But for it to happen in such a rare incident like that is kind of like, no. And then what gets interesting is the fact that people don't know this, but I have somebody that's on the inside to that. I'm just going to leave it at that. He had to be revived 3 times, not 2. He had to be revived 3 times, right? So the fact that they had to shock him back using the AED, what caused those 2 other heart failures? That's one thing. Second thing is, the minute they came out and said Damar Hamlin was saying this or saying that, I said no, because once he got intubated, you're not saying anything. You're not talking at all. So them saying that he writing, I get that. Here's the interesting part. Once they showed him in the hospital doing the heart sign and everything, I completely get that right there, right? Once you take somebody off of being intubated, there is a process that you have to go through, especially after coming off of a heart attack or any type of what we call a myocardial infarction, something of that sort. There is a protocol, right? You definitely going to be on oxygen. You're going to be taking things real slow. And my whole career, I had to perform CPR on somebody 4 times, right? And on the 5th one, I had to perform 4 times with a person where I cracked ribs. The 5th time, I didn't have to. The ribs didn't crack. People, I'm telling y'all right now, I don't care who you are, how young you are not coming off of something like that and doing like this. It's going to include your pectoralis muscles, and also it's going to do the pectoralis and what they call the intercostal muscles that's right there where the ribs are. Those muscles will be hurting so bad for him to sit there and throw his hands up doing all those motions like that. Number 2, he had a mask on. That right there already is a huge no-no. Why? Because we want him to be fully oxygenated. We want him to get as much oxygen as he can because we don't want any type of occlusions happening, right? So that already kind of had me like, wait a minute, whoa. And it released him so early. And according to the protocols that I've done, several of them, that dude right now should not be doing nothing. He shouldn't even be up and walking around doing any of that. If anything, he will be getting taken to a therapist or something like that where they would do light treatment and they would be monitoring him with an oximeter every step of the way. Every time like for example, we'll say, okay, we're going to put you on a bike. We're going to put it at level 1. We're going to have you ride, pedal real slow. Keep it only at about 1.0 miles per hour. And while he's doing that, they're monitoring his oxygen and all that. And they're also monitoring how fast his heart is beating because they don't want to get something called tachycardia or to see if he gets bradycardia, right? So these protocols that will be set in place for him to do, there is no way that I'm saying if that is him and it is, those doctors let that dude go off too early where he can end up absolutely 100% having another what they call a cardiac arrest or myocardial infarction. So he would be monitored closely, not just because look, you monitor closely if you only have 1. He failed 3 times, so that he would already be like super like looked at, man. Like we're like, look, we're not going to play around with this. Number 1, you're not about to be up and just walking around, swing your arms or anything like that. Where's your O2 tank that you should be carrying, like you mentioned earlier? So that right there has me a little bit suspicious for him to come back and put up on his little Twitter thing and say clone, and he didn't show his face. That's the only thing I'm saying. Dude, come on now. You're not showing you showed your face in the hospital when you was doing like this. What's wrong with showing your face right now? So as far as it being a double, I'm just waiting for him to actually come out and make a public statement because I don't know why he wouldn't. Hey, I thank everybody for the prayers. I thank you guys for all praying for me. I didn't know that I changed the game. I didn't know that I'm the first athlete in history to shut down a football game. I thought they would have continued on. But they can also say, well, he's at the stage where he can't talk because he would be the speech pathologist after having that tube taken out of his throat. But at the same time, he still would be able to whisper something or say something. And his uncle, who was so outspoken, letting everybody know that, hey, when they brought him back, this happened. And when they brought him back again, this happened. That uncle seemed not to be saying nothing right now. He's not saying a word. So that kind of got me a little suspicious, okay? So I'm going to digress from that whole subject, and that's why I know about this. I don't know what these doctors are doing, if that is Hamilton doing that, but that is completely the wrong protocol to let that guy get out and be walking around and doing that stuff on his own without having a therapist next to him or an athletic trainer next to him, monitoring him the whole time, making sure that his heart rate stays on par and possibly have an on-carry EKG along with some O2 because you want fresh oxygen the whole 9 right now. Okay, so I'm going to digress from that. Just so that people know, yes, I am an expert in that in case folks don't know. You want to know another thing that we have to go to school for and learn about as well through medical school? Obesity. Man, y'all, listen to this. Some things can be genetic, but when it comes to things like obesity, no. We all went to school and we learned that the reason why you're going to find a family of fat people is because the way that great-grandma ate and cooked is the same way that grandma ate and cooked. The way that grandma ate and cooked is the same way your mom most likely is going to eat and cook. The way the mom eat and cook is the way you've been taught to eat and cook, unless you change that up yourself. So this is nothing more than to bring money to this medical profession, just like this person that was on there. I don't know what she was that you just showed. Was she a psychologist, whatever like that? But it's to do nothing more than to bring money to the profession. I speak openly about this because when I got into this field, I wanted to be open with people. I wanted to be real with people. I really cared about people. And I did not know that when I got into it, that it was going to be just pretty much like, dude, screw everything you thought that you was going to do. This is all about making money. And I'm just telling people the truth. The AMA hates me for it, but oh well. So what happens is this. In the medical field, if we can push things through law to get something labeled as a diagnosis, then we can treat it medicinally. It has nothing to do with what they're trying to do right now, saying, oh, no, they thought it was this. See, they thought they died in exercise. They thought, no. See, all they want to do is be able to treat this with medicine. And that's why like mental illness is a huge thing that's going on right now. All these different things that are going on within our world right now, all they're doing it for is to be able to slap a diagnosis on there and be able to say, because it is a diagnosis and it is a medical condition, we can treat it medicinally with medication. Plain and simple, man. So it's sad that a lot of doctors are even lying to these people about this, but I do know why they're doing it. Because you get to keep a lifelong crackhead. You get to keep them on that medication for the rest of their life. You get to keep on having them getting sent to some psychological doctor who's going to treat them up here like she said, whatever like that. Man, come on, get real, folks. It's real simple. When it all comes down to it, when I went through my program like this, we have a 99.9% success rate with people losing weight. People can try to blame the metabolism. You can say that all you want to, but the thing is, metabolism has nothing to do with your body being into a state called ketosis, that if you do put it in that state, your body will end up relying on the reserves that's in the body. Your reserves are fat. When it comes down to it, it's not that you're trying to lose weight. You are wanting to lose fat. Fat is stored energy. It's stored energy. Something that you store is there for you to possibly use it. But if you don't use it, your body will continue to store. And I'm going to get off because I know I'm just trying to push this information out real quick. But here's the thing. When you mentioned about the eating and everything, ABL, come on, y'all. We all know this all comes down to eating. But when we got these different chemicals and things that's put in the food, like you said, the fructose and all those different things like that, what happens is that even though that's put in there, if it's synthetically made, if it's not organic, I'm just being real with y'all, folks, your body will not recognize that as being an organic thing when it enters your body. So it will treat it like a foreign invader. But instead of having white blood cells come out and kill it, your body will surround it with a fat cell and store, because your body does not know what to do with it. They're not going to tell you this. Your doctor's not going to tell you guys this stuff at all, because they just want you to keep coming in so you can keep on bringing in that money to them. Diet, exercise is going to be key. It's easy. Y'all want to know the secret? If it did not come from the ground and you can just eat it straight from the ground, then don't mess with it. If it came in the box, don't eat it. If it came in the can, don't eat it. If it came in the bag, don't eat it. Fruits and vegetables all come from a tree. Meat came from an animal. They eat fruits and vegetables. If you want to lose weight, stick to doing that. It's actually easy, but they're going to make it hard because they're going to sit there and cater to a lot of folks' mental illness. Oh, because I have to psychologically be this. I have to psychologically. No. They're pandering to you so they can, yes, that's right. You sure will. Yeah, it's definitely psychological. So we're going to give you this medicine. Money all day long, man. Plain and simple, bro. So, yeah, man, with that being said, man, appreciate it, man. It's really good seeing you, man. I'm super busy, dude. I mean, I wasn't going to show you some stuff right here, but I'll show you real quick. Give me a second.
Well, I can't see your screen actually. I just have audio only.
Say that again.
I have audio only. I can't see your screen.
You can't see me?
No, I can't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What about now? Still can't see me?
No.
Oh man, that's messed up. I'll catch you next time. I was gonna show you some different things. I spoke on the stage with Donald Trump, press secretary Kayleigh McEnany. Spoke on stage with her and everything. Signed, had the whole nine, man. And Ted Cruz and D'Souza, Alan West. It was a bomb, dude. I'll show y'all next time, though.
Right on, man. Thank you for your call, as always.
Yeah, appreciate everything you're doing, man. Keep it up, man. We out here just kicking butt, making people mad, taking them off. And folks, if y'all can hear me, I know y'all can't see me, but I'm on YouTube as Modern Renaissance Man. On Instagram as Modern Renaissance Man with the O being a 0 in Modern Renaissance Man. I'm on TikTok as Modern Renaissance Man with the O being a 0. I'm on Twitter as The Real Ty Smith, and I'm on Rumble as Modern Renaissance Man with the O in Modern. And everybody, y'all all have a good day. God bless you. ABL. Hey, that great beard looks pretty smooth on you, bro. You was up there having your little Kevin Samuels on the other day with that picture, man. I like it though, man. Hey, keep doing what you're doing, bro. Appreciate the time.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Peace out.
Very well said. Shout out to Modern Renaissance Man. Very, very smart person in the medical profession. Knows what he's talking about. What he said right there was 100% correct. Now, let's revisit the obesity video from 60 Minutes where they had the board member.
Nicole Sam.
Now, I'm gonna put this on the screen right quick so you can see what I'm talking about. Give me 1 second here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Now, down here in the timestamps, what does it say right here? You might not be able to see it, but this section says new weight loss medication. And that appears to be the longest segment of the video. Okay, the video is about 13 minutes long. This segment goes from 5:27 to almost 9 minutes.
Doctors Apovian and Stanford have been advising companies developing drugs for obesity, including the Danish company Novo Nordisk, an advertiser on.
There it is right there. Look at that. Advertising drugs on TV. They don't do this overseas, really. This is an American thing. So the lady gets on TV and says, oh, obesity is not really about your diet and exercise. You can't beat it that way. It's genetic. And you know, you can overcome your genetics with this drug that we're going to sell you, and we're going to advertise it right here on the show. This ain't nothing but a commercial for drugs. Very simple, not difficult to understand. So shout out to my main man, Modern Renaissance Man, for breaking down that obvious fact to you. Let's get to the next call here. Let's go to 404. You're online. Who am I speaking to?
ABL. This is TJ Jizzle out of Atlanta.
All righty, TJ.
Sir, my goodness. Modern Renaissance Man really he said absolutely everything that I wanted to say. He's got the medical part covered, and to be quite just point blank honest with you, he has the medical, I have the mental. I have to treat these patients psychologically, believing that they're okay being morbidly obese. And they're not realizing that it's not everybody else around you. You have a disorder. It's almost like body dysmorphia. It's the same. You have a perception, and society right now is telling people it's okay. It's not you. It's not anything that you are doing or choices that you're making. And I don't understand how, especially, it's not all Black people, but I'm going to say Black because that's how I relate, how Black people are not seeing the correlation, how close that is to how a young man will say, well, it's not my fault I keep getting arrested for stealing cars or going to jail. It's just my environment. You have to make separate choices. Sometimes you have to reach a little bit further out to find sources that will help you get out of that mindset. But it is possible. You do know that it's wrong. You don't have to do it, and you don't have to eat that box of Ho-Hos and Twinkies, or whatever it is that came processed in that package, in that bag, just like the doctor said. There has to come a time where, as an obese person, you have to push that plate back, or you have to take smaller portions. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I sacrifice and struggle with my fitness. I compete, and there are more days than I can count that I'm up all night because I want to eat something sweet. I want to eat that donut, or I just want to have, something that I know is not going to be good for me. But I have a fitness goal. I have a goal. I have an objective. I don't want to be 70 years old and I have to be on the cart to shop. I want to be able to walk and, and work in my garden on my own, carry the wheelbarrow around when I'm, 70, 75. That's very possible that I can still be very active in doing that stuff. But if I'm not proactive at this stage, then I'm going to get what I pay for. And that's going to be a broke down body that is full of inflammation. It's full of disease. And like he said, you're in a state of constant battle where your white blood cell count is so low that your red blood cell count, you're fighting your own body. And, that video completely triggered me. I mean, it had me jumping up and down because I've been competing competitively in bodybuilding for more than, I'm going on about 12 years. And I'm good at what I do, but I have to sacrifice. That means I can't eat garbage. It just is. You get over it and you do better. We have to do better with this. Last thing I wanted to thank you for, I don't like it, but I have to say thank you for Crowder, the whole Crowder thing. I'm going to be honest, I was a really, really big fan. And I never saw him as a bully or a phony or, I never saw him like that. And so I do actually appreciate the context that you presented. And I know I kind of get your perception of him and I'm cool with it. But I do like the way that you presented it because it did allow me as a fan of both of you and Crowder, it actually gave me an objective perspective on, okay, you've got to look at it from this point of view instead of just, I love Crowder and I love, you put out the information to allow me to make an informed decision. And so I do see him in a different light, which I do appreciate. I really do appreciate. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for that. I'm glad you're able to, just have an open mind and either you can agree with it, disagree with it, but just be open. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me.
No doubt. And, for people that might be struggling or on the fence with the whole obesity thing, you just got to remember that you can't blame Meemaw and Pawpaw, for what you put on that plate. Not today.
That's right.
Not today. All righty, ABL, thank you. Amazing show tonight, and your chat is super live. Hopefully, Boomhire will call in and he'll give his take on Crowder too. So.
Right on. Well, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, now. Great call. Great calls tonight. Great show tonight. Everybody's been, y'all been doing an amazing job. I could never do it without you. Thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. 516 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
How you doing, ABL? How you doing?
It's all good,
My
man.
name is Mike. Yes, I was listening to you about the Crowder situation. I didn't hear everything that you were talking about, but I know you had made a few. I think it was 2 other videos regarding the whole Crowder situation. And in my own perspective and what I get from what Crowder was saying, it was not only about the contracts, the money and everything. He was just talking about, in my own perspective, he was talking about how he don't want other people that comes before him to get canceled for speaking the truth. You understand what I'm saying?
How would that happen?
Because I remember when he was talking about, I think when he made the second video and with the whole recording situation, and he was talking about how they tried to cancel him. Like, I think it was Big Tech tried to cancel him on a few occasions because of the things that he was saying. And basically what he was saying, like when he was talking about the whole 50 million, he said he don't care about the money. He was asking people, where their integrity, where their morals and their values lie. Does it lie in the money? Like, would you sign a contract, and keep quiet about certain situations? You will be treading on thin, like treading carefully about the topics that you talk about, stuff like that. He was just basically, to sum up everything, he was just basically talking about not being canceled, being able to have free speech. And we know big tech is not about free speech.
But check it out though. But check it out though. Getting canceled by big tech is not something that Daily Wire can control. So why would you attack Daily Wire for something that big tech does? That's not their fault that they do that.
What he was saying was, I don't think big tech is a part of like the conservative movement. So it's like you going into business like with a left wing. Like, you're going into business with a left wing company. Like, don't you think at some point you being a truth teller, that if you say something that they don't like, right? If you say something that they don't like, or that the media, the left wing media don't like, they can call up big tech or like, I want to censor ABL. I want to censor this from ABL.
Who is they? Who is they?
Like the whole Democrat Party. Like, if you say anything, like,
but check it out though. Like, I get your point, but check it out. That's not the Daily Wire's responsibility. They can't make big tech do what they want them to do. Okay, so that's not something that the Daily Wire is responsible for. So why did Steven Crowder attack Daily Wire if the enemy is big tech? Daily Wire is not big tech. So I don't understand.
I get what you said. I get what you said, but I just see a lot of people like blasting Crowder, and I feel personally, this is my personal way, I don't know Crowder like that. I barely know anybody on the internet like that. You feel me? Any of the conservatives like that. But I just don't feel like Crowder deserves the backlash he's getting for just speaking how he personally feels. Like,
but he's attacking people. He's attacking people that didn't do anything. He's attacking the wrong person. Like, why would you go attack Daily Wire if the enemy is big tech? It doesn't make any sense. It's like you can't go out there and hit the wrong person over and over and over again and then be like, well, you shouldn't attack me for that. Well, it's like, stop picking on the wrong person. If you got a beef with big tech, then go to big tech, go to Google, Facebook, YouTube, etc. Don't go to Daily Wire. They're not responsible for what big tech does. That's not okay to do. And if you're going to continue to attack the wrong people, we're going to say, hey, you're doing the wrong thing. Go to Google, talk to them. Don't go to Daily Wire and say, oh, well, big tech is censoring me. That's big tech's problem, not Daily Wire.
Yeah,
explain to me how it's Daily Wire's fault that big tech does something to censor Steven Crowder. Explain to me that.
Because they're in contract with they're in a contract or negotiation or whatever. I really don't know. But
you don't know? So what's the problem?
No, here's what I'm saying. My thing is, from what I get from what Crowder was saying, was that, okay, y'all offered me $50 million or whatever the case may be. Y'all offered me how much money y'all offered. But when I sign this contract, right, will I still have free speech? Will I still be able to say things that I can say right now without being censored and canceled? Will I still be able to say certain things and not be canceled? Because the simple fact that I still think, and I think the dude that he was on the phone with, he did say yes. He said yes, he will. You will be canceled. You will be.
Let me give you a little bit of help here. Okay, what's happening is Daily Wire has certain provisions in the contract or the offer sheet that says if Big Tech censors you, not Daily Wire, if Big Tech censors you, then you're going to lose certain bits of your money, certain bits of your fee. So if $50 million is what you get paid and all of a sudden you get a strike on YouTube, you're going to lose some money. Now, people are looking at that as if Daily Wire is enforcing Big Tech's ban. But the real reality is that you're on Big Tech, Steven Crowder. Steven Crowder's on Big Tech. Steven Crowder's on YouTube. Okay. He has almost like 6 million subs on YouTube. He's still uploading to YouTube, going live on YouTube. He depends on YouTube, same as Daily Wire. If Steven Crowder's by himself with no company backing him and he gets banned from YouTube, then he's going to lose money. So if he signs a Daily Wire, why should he not lose some money if he's banned from YouTube? If it was him by himself, it'd be the same thing. What people want is for Daily Wire to give him his full money, even if he cannot produce the money that they are going to get to pay him. See, you're going to be on Big Tech platforms because that's the biggest audience. They even said that on the Tim Pool podcast, speaking about Crowder and his CEO of the company, right? So if you are on the biggest platforms and you're not anymore, if you're on the biggest platforms and you get demonetized or whatever it is, then everybody loses money. Daily Wire does, and Steven Crowder does. Steven Crowder does not want to lose the money. He wants Daily Wire to take the whole hit. That's not fair. I would not sign that contract if I was Daily Wire. And quite frankly, anybody that sees this going on, they would not want to sign Steven Crowder because he's a liability. He's known to have health issues, and he don't want to get docked for missing time off. He's known for being striked and whatnot on YouTube. He don't want to take no hits for losing money. So if I was a person trying to sign a contract with him, I would not sign him because too much of a liability, and he don't want to play ball. He don't want to participate with us because if I'm offering you this maximum amount of money, I'm trying to give you the most amount of money possible, but I can't give you that much money if you're not able to produce it. It's just that simple. It's not Daily Wire trying to enforce what Big Tech is doing. It's a matter of the money coming in not being enough to pay you what you want if you're not going to be on certain platforms for a certain period of time. That's not Daily Wire's fault. It's just Big Tech's fault because the money that you're going to bring in is not going to be enough to be able to pay them that much money. Now, if you don't want to have any kind of penalty because of not being on Big Tech, if he doesn't want those kind of issues, what he should do is take less money. Go to Rumble, go to Truth Social, go to the off Big Tech platforms. Now, you're going to make less money. You cannot make that big amount of money on Rumble or on Truth Social or on Parler or on Gab because you're going to have a much smaller audience that's viewing your content. Simple. But Crowder doesn't want to do that. He wants to get the maximum amount of money, which is exactly why he counter-offered with $120 million rather than $50 million. So how you feel about that?
I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying. And what you're saying, it makes sense.
Well, I'm glad it does, man. I'm just here to just clear things up because I think Crowder does a really good job of, maintaining his audience and defending himself. But I feel like the counter argument is not always there or articulated in a way that makes sense to people that may not necessarily be familiar with how YouTube operates. So I'm glad you were able to just hear what I'm saying.
Yeah, I listen to both sides, you feel me? And like I said, I hear what Crowder saying or his about certain things, and I hear what you're saying. Both of y'all make sense. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not bashing you. I'm not saying y'all wrong about what you're saying. I'm just,
Right, I got you.
Just giving on opinion. I'm just giving my own opinion. That's all it is.
Right on, man. I'm with you. But thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you, boss.
All right, appreciate you.
I know. Shout out to the caller. All I ask is everybody just be open and just hear me. You can agree, disagree, whatever it is. Just be open and hear me. No, that's my plea to everybody that's out there watching. All right. 440, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, how's it going, ABL?
Everything's well, man. How about yourself?
Pretty good. I was trying to get in Saturday, I think, but I kind of like missed it. The lines were blown up.
Right.
Just wanted to piggyback off of some of the things that were said on that Saturday. I was never a conspiracy theorist. Kind of like, I've never listened to what people said, but me personally, I know at least 3 people that had heart attacks 2 weeks after they got the poke, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I know 3 people myself, and at least 3 or 4 more through some of my friends. But I do have like a friend that in 2021, he had a heart attack. He blamed it on smoking and, not sleeping at night. And I kind of like left it at that. But after a while, when I called him, I'm like, dude, did you get the jab? And he said, yeah, dude. And 2 weeks after, I got this. And the manager, a friend of mine, let's put it this way, a friend of mine has a boss whose husband died just around that time, 2 weeks after, just had a heart attack and died. So although I never was a conspiracy theorist, but these are too many to be just coincidences, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's just too much going on at once. Too many things happening. And at a certain point, it becomes a pattern rather than a coincidence. Rather than something isolated, it becomes just normal and what happens, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I had it too because I had to travel, but it's been like a year and a half now. I feel fine. Didn't have anything, so to say. But some people do have them. I know at least 3 people that had heart attacks. Fortunately, they're still alive. But some other people are not. So I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty rough.
Regarding this Crowder issue, I don't even know why people debate this. I mean, what the hell is it to them? It's not like it's their money or anything. I mean, it's just like people do whatever they want to do. I just don't watch that, and I try not to get into arguments about that. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I mean.
Anyway,
the whole thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
The whole thing with that is, you talking about really big people, really big audiences. You talking about a company that's out there doing a lot to help the conservative movement, and you got somebody within the conservative movement damaging that. It's not a good thing. Now, if we're talking about like minor individual things between people that really don't matter in the greater scheme of things, I don't want to make it seem like I'm saying people don't matter because everybody has a purpose in this life. I'm just talking about those.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm talking about those that make a really big impact. I mean, these people, when they do things like this, it's not right, and people need to speak out against it, in my humble opinion.
That's true, but everybody has an angle, either way you put it. So I just don't care about that issue. Anywho, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak, and keep doing a great job. Thank you.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Let's go to some more here. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. 918, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, baby? JB Scotchman from Oklahoma. How you doing, buddy?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Hey, there's a lot happening, actually.
Yeah.
A lot of topics to talk about, but I'm going to keep it down to a couple that I wrote down. Okay, first of all, hey, I got a topic that won't ever be talked about in the mainstream news or the mainstream media because it's about Rockstar Games and Grand Theft Auto 5, which is the biggest moneymaker in the entertainment industry of all time. It's made over $6 billion.
So like more than movies, more than movies, television, all of that is a singular thing. This is the biggest ever.
Yeah, exactly. It's the biggest form of entertainment ever.
Wow.
So anyway, on the PC version, which is what I play on, it's gotten to the point where the hackers and modders have just taken over the game. I mean, they now have the ability to just ban your account, take away all your money, and just destroy all the years of work you've done. And Rockstar has done nothing about this, even though it's been going on for years. So this could be a really big story because, I mean, this is going to be a class action lawsuit. This is going to be really big because people that have bought the game and they paid like extra money for like all the, you know, like the shark cards and, you know, and all the extra little things. And Rockstar provided no security to anyone. I mean, it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, watch out for that story. Yeah. What else? I had one more thing. Yeah, Damar Hamlin, the dude from the New York Giants.
Buffalo Bills.
Or Bills. Yeah, the Bills. Yeah, not the Giants. Man, there's definitely some funny business going on with that. I mean, come on. I mean, I've been watching football since I was a kid, and how many times have you seen a player, you know, get hit so hard that he just died? I mean, that does not happen. You know, so yeah, and yeah, and when he came out and made a statement, oh yeah, it was like Hillary and Joe, you know, with their clones. Yeah, it was like, I don't even think that was him even.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot of that type of stuff going on. A lot of, like, who is that really? A lot of fishy things happening in general.
Oh yeah, a lot of funny business. But all right, those are my two topics. I'll leave it there, buddy, and love you, man. Love your show, and love all the people in the chat and the calls, and I'll just sit back and listen to everything else.
Thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, later, dude.
Shout out to the caller. Great call. All righty, Les, what's happening?
Hey, ABL, how are you?
It's all good. About yourself?
Good. I actually wanted to comment on your comment that you made earlier in the show. I think the best phone by far was when I had the BlackBerry Pearl.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I had that too. Yeah, I had pretty much every BlackBerry you can imagine. Like I was hooked on the Crackberry.
That was the most best, I think, phone ever. Okay, it tops off what we have now, Apple and Androids. And honestly, hopefully one day they'll bring it back. We don't know though.
For real, that was an amazing phone.
That, and I also wanted to give my 2 cents just into other topics that you covered today. So one with this whole, again, we're going back to the vaccines. If one vaccine did not work, let's give it the vaccine, ABO, and then the booster. If those 2 things didn't work, why would I continue going out there to get boosters? I don't want myocarditis. I'm good. You know, I want to live forever. Okay. So why would I get these vaccines? And then, you know, possibly 2 weeks, 60 days from then, drop dead, you know? No, thank you.
Exactly. I'm going to just stay away from it. I like living, so I'm good on that.
We're too young to die yet, ABL.
That's right. Way too young.
That, and then I thought it was crazy, and I'm going to hopefully I get a little laugh from everybody, but I thought it was crazy, that video that you put up of the girl who said why the ex guy is now her ex-boyfriend.
Oh yeah, talking about the vax. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? And these are the same women that when they hit 35 to 50 years old and they're alone and they're obsessed with their careers and they don't have nobody because they don't know how to get along with men and actually be a good woman to their man, they're the ones who are sitting there crying wolf. Oh, I can't find a good man. All men are trash. Like you just killed it for yourself, over a vaccine. Really, ABL? This is why I always say, good thing that we had Kevin Samuels come along. R.I.P. Kevin Samuels.
R.I.P.
And R.I.P. And this is why we need to free the Tate brothers.
That's right, because stuff like this is going on. People got to get warned that it's happening for sure.
Well, yeah, because I mean, these are the men that are basically telling, other men, hey, it's okay to be masculine, but you need to know how to judge, especially a woman, by her character. If she's these modern leftists, like these very modern women, steer away. That's not what you want. It ain't gonna work out, especially when you're being a conservative man and then you're trying to go out there into the market and fish a left Democrat person. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna work out. It's not.
It's not. You're right. 100% correct on that.
That, and then what was that other topic that you covered? Oh, that whole obesity thing. I think we could all agree, ABL, and I know you had previous callers that did a phenomenal job at explaining it, is the fact that this has nothing to do with, it could possibly just be in your genes. No, it is a fork to mouth issue. Again, we go back to the old saying, whatever you eat, you will become. What happened to that?
I mean, I think they want to do a couple of things. They want to try to cater to the whole body positive movement, so you could be 800 pounds and still be beautiful. And also they want to sell drugs. Like I showed that in another clip. They later on in that same interview with the lady, they promoted an anti-obesity drug.
Right. But then we go back to what your other callers were saying, and that is so spot on, is the fact that how does Big Pharma make their money? They have salespeople that go out there to different doctors' offices and say, hey, I got these, new line of drugs. Here we go. We'll give them samples, start offering them to your patients. Hopefully they like them. And then now you can start prescribing this, right? So they're networking through these doctors that are supposed to be here for us, right? Our primary healthcare providers, and actually recommending us and guiding us through our health journey, but they're not. This is just another great example of how Big Pharma is the biggest cartel that we have ever seen here in the United States, besides the actual cartels that are coming in from Mexico. That's a whole other story. And how they want to keep people hooked on the system. What is it so hard to tell people, you want to know something? We want to get you back on a healthy way, a good health. How about we start dieting, whatever that means to the individual, between the individual and the doctor, right? It could be keto, it could be paleo, it could be whatever, right? But let's start off with some type of healthy eating choices. And you know what? Maybe you don't have to do an extensive amount of exercising, but at least some moderate, like mild. Go for a 20-minute walk, start running. I don't know, do something at home. You get me? Lift some weights at home. Like, there's so many other options to explore in a holistic sense, rather than going through, again, being in the system and belonging to this biggest cartel ever here in the US, which is the pharmaceutical companies. So I think it's sad, to be honest with you, ABL. But again, I mean, this is where we're at right now. And again, people just have to wake up and smell the coffee and do their own research, because I know I've spoke about this from a personal perspective, from my own experience. I mean, I was glucose intolerant 3 years ago. Doctors wanted to put me on medication. I was 160 pounds. I'm 5 foot, so I'm very small. And I was like, no. That very same day, I started doing my research. I came across one of a family member who does keto. I did keto, and go back a year and I'm completely healthy. Everybody's astonished at the health clinic because they don't know what the heck's going on. Like, what did you do? Well, I mean, I got on keto. And I mean, again, this is to each their own, right? To each their own. But I mean, I just basically told the doctor, I'm like, well, this is what I felt. It was comfortable. I liked it and I went for it. doctors are over here trying to tell me then, well, you got to be careful because we don't know too much about this stuff. And, it can't be that good. And I told him, you know what? I'm my own walking testimony. So if there's nothing wrong with me, then we're done. Case closed. So this is what people have to wake up to and actually do for themselves. And not only that, they have to actually be 100% committed to themselves and to their health. That's where it starts.
100% correct. Right on. Accurate.
I know. Alrighty, ABL. Well, great show. I want to wish you a wonderful night. God bless you. We'll see you Saturday. And God bless everyone in the chat. You take care.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Bye, ABL.
All right. Fantastic call. And that will be a wrap for the show. Thank y'all for being here. I know the phone lines are still jamming, still jumping, but we're at the end of the show. Thank y'all for joining. I'll be back live again, of course, on Saturday. Same bat time, same bat channel. 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be here. This is a podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether they be Spotify, Google Play, Apple iTunes, Stitcher, Anchor, etc. Link for that will be in the description box, or go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Super chat right here I'm going to get to. Thank you to Carl G, who says the media has trained Americans into believing we need to be a bit overweight. Yeah, exactly. Right? Because of the whole thing with Lizzo, all these people. Yeah, that's pretty much what's going on with that. I agree with you 100%. I think that's all the supers, all of everything. Thank y'all thank you to the mods for being here, for doing the good job, keeping all the trolls in check and everything the way it's supposed to go. I appreciate y'all. Couldn't do it without you. Thank you to everybody that's been watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. Thank you. And also, please, if you have not done so, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. But that'll be a wrap for me. I'll be back tomorrow with pre-recorded videos and back Saturday with a live show. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.